All right, what's up guys? My name is Ray from Mid-Michigan Drift Club. We're out here at Jackson Speedway for the June 14th, 15th Matsuri. That's the Japanese word for festival. And we've got 80 drivers here today out here ripping it. Right now we got A and B group out on track. And we're gonna be going, I think we're gonna keep this live stream up from now until 10:30 or so. And hopefully it's, we're gonna do a little intro thing here. We're gonna walk through whatever's going out on track. Maybe fill in the middle with some little interviews, podcasts, maybe some tech talks, things like that. And then later on this evening, we'll get it rowdy again for the big entry contest, the whole finisher for the day. And then we'll go right into the party at the end of the day. We'll have, I think it's at 9 o'clock is our big entry contest, 9 to 9:45. We're gonna be looking for the biggest entry in that whole session. They're gonna get a little prize package. And then we're gonna keep going until 10:30. So track's gonna stay hot here until 10:30. We've got, like I said earlier, A and B group out on track right now. We got one more C group session, and then we're gonna switch back to A and B group to finish out the end. Should be a pretty rowdy evening. Everything's pretty much well in place. We got the food trucks over there. We've got the Junkyard Dog with the hot dog cart, Tiki Sam's with wood-fired pizzas, and then we've got Elephant Wagon over there. He's got elephant ears, corn dogs, fresh squeezed lemonade, and I think deep fried pretzels was the other one too, which sounded really, really cool. I tasted before, always delicious. Had a chili dog from Junkyard Dog, delicious. Had an elephant ear from the Elephant Wagon, delicious. Just kind of trying everything. I want to be able to give you guys good food and point you in the right direction. So Hot Rods had a bit of health issues, so one less option, but that's okay. We got plenty of great options out here for you guys. Lots of good food, good music, good vibes, good drifting, and we got some good games that we'll be bringing out later. Got some cornhole set up over here next to this transition work hard track over near Grid, so you can play some cornhole, watch some drifting, and listen to some music. It's a pretty sweet setup over here. Going pretty good today. Everything seems to go pretty smooth. Seen a lot of really good driving out there. A lot of people progressing from C group to A and to B group, and just honestly, it's pretty remarkable to see. It's like everything's kind of like clicking. The last event, there's a lot of things that kind of fell into place to where things just work. Now it just feels even better. We got an E30 with following a F-body Camaro. That's T and the lead driver coming in. I mean, just we're gonna have 4 or 5 cars on track, and somebody went through the tire wall immediately. All right, we're holding good. That's I told a couple people of like, hey, you got a Torsen. He doesn't have a Torsen. He just mistakes happen. It happens. So we have a driver that just went off at the entry. They went through the center tire wall. It's not the first time this happens. It's pretty normal, but it's it takes a second for us to clean everything up. It's really not a problem, but it does take us a minute. So we're gonna take a second while with the hole in the wall to rebuild that real quick, and we'll get track going hot again very quickly. So what happened is it looked like the driver went to initiate and then tried to get the car to swing back, and it just didn't swing back. And at these speeds, I mean, you could be hitting 60 to 70 miles an hour on that entry there. I don't know how fast he was going, but 60 to 70 miles an hour that you go and you turn it left, you're pointed straight at those tire walls, and then you got to huck it back right to make the entry. And if you don't get that, if you have a slight hesitation whenever you turn it left, it's easy to just go straight off into the tire wall because the car just didn't swing back. It's a pretty normal thing. It happens. It actually just happened to me last weekend. My car is messing up a little bit, but I was doing some testing over here on the transition from oval to kart track, and I just went to I hucked it left to go outside wide, similar to what he just did, and the car just didn't want to swing back right. I ended up driving through the dirt oval back there. Thankfully, it was nice and pretty hard compact, so drove right through the dirt oval and got right back on track and was good to go. But no different than what he did, where you know, oh, it just didn't want to swing back. So it happens. Happens to the best of us. But and thankfully it's easy enough to where, you know, hey, it went off. There's no big major walls to hit there, and the tires help slow them down, keep them from coming into traffic on the other side of the track. And you know, it takes us, I don't know, probably 3 to 5 minutes to fix the tire wall. And we'll be back on to hot track here in a moment. Just gonna do that. Look in there.
Try as much as you can to talk to the camera.
Like this. Should I face my body at it, or should I like kind of turn?
You can reference this if things happen. Just try to talk to this switch.
Okay. Cool.
Just like switch back and forth with your eyes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good. What if I shifted it this way so I can look that way? We don't have enough cable. No, we don't have enough cable. That's not an option. That's fine.
All right, I'm gonna put the drone up.
Minor adjustment. So I can at least catch. Now I can, there we go. Now I can talk. I can see the entries. I can kind of see behind me, and I can say, hi guys, how's it going? So that's pretty sweet. I'm just posting this on Facebook so that everyone, you know, at least has it as a reference. And then maybe we'll share this on. Can we share it on Instagram? I don't know how to technology, so we're gonna. All right, looks like we're going hot track again. First up, we got a C6 Corvette ripping it. These cars are great, and I think it was like this is like second or third event here, I'm pretty sure, and it's been really, really cool watching his progress. Little tandem action, couple 350Zs coming in, coming down the entry. Oh, very cool. Very cool angle for you guys to be watching in this overhead. A little tight on the inside. Now, this is actually pretty interesting with this double lap layout. So every driver that goes out, they're doing 2 full laps. So they're gonna come off grid, come down, do an entry just like that BMW sort of messed up. Actually, I'll do a little run through on the track the next time somebody comes out. Dude, the guy in the C6 is absolutely shredding though. All right, so let's see here. We got a good. All right, so for this next tandem that leaves grid, we're gonna do a little track walkthrough. So as soon as we get rolling, and we gotta if we can get a drone on one of them that shows you this track overview, I'll go ahead and run it down. So they're gonna come out of grid, rail it down this front section. You'll see this. We're gonna follow this 350Z that just went wide in the zone. All right, here we go. Yes, this is Andrew Sosa, I believe. So he go real deep into that. He needs to go way deeper into that. Manji this little straightaway. This next corner, you got to scrub speed, and it's a little banked. And then there's a little bit of a drop on the outside. So if you hit it right, you can kind of lift your wheel. Come flying down the straightaway again. Huck it back into this corner using that addition on the outside. And then swinging it into the hairpin really nice. Run it a little bit wider than that. Rail it down, nice. And then you're coming back around for a full lap again. You know, another big entry. Big swing gives you an opportunity to do it a little bit deeper, a little bit better than the last time. Again, just keep that wide. I'm gonna hopefully if Andrew sees this later, I'll be like, dude, you can go wider, man. You got plenty of room. Good line through here though. Good line through that last corner. It really lets you dump it out and then rip it again back down the straightaway before you get around back onto grid. So it makes it a bit of a challenge because the grid worker is trying to weave cars into cars, has to rely on every driver that's out there doing what they're supposed to do, you know. So we do have the different run groups, the C, the B, the A, to kind of just give that good environment for learning and growth so that when it comes time for, you're sitting out here and you got 5, 6 cars on track at the same time and we're trying to weave them in, we need to make sure that you're moving. You don't need to put down perfect laps every time, but you need to be moving. You need to recover quickly. You need to be mindful of the fact that there's 5 more people coming after you. And I tell you what, seeing the progression from drivers and the environment that they're in, they are growing. They're getting better. You know, everyone still makes little mistakes here and there, but it's going really, really good. I think they're really starting to vibe a little bit more, a little party going on, and everyone starts to feel it more and more as the day goes on. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And this weekend being a 2-day, you know, being Matsuri, we got 2 days. So today is the Z31 is sweet. Sorry, very, very cool Z31 here. I think it's a VT30D TT. Not something you see too often, not something you see very often set up well. So very, very cool there. You know, just not your everyday drift car. I love this view of overhead. You can just see people coming in. You can see where that person just left grid. We got another set of cars hitting the hairpin right behind them. So 5 groups out on track right now, but they're not overlapping each other. And then once those 350Zs, that's a big entry. That was awesome. They're looking great. Once they come back around, the grid worker is ready to rock, and they're going to send the next person after them. So it really makes it a really fun time to be out there as a driver. Grid gets backed up, but then it empties out quickly. So you know, that's how you come out here. You get 50, 70, 80, 100 laps throughout the day. And the track feels great. You don't really necessarily go through tires with it being made of concrete and everything. Very grippy with all the rubber that's been laid into it over time. Yes. Seeing that the Camaro and the E30 coming around, Camaro and the BMW E30, they're coming around looking good. Good tandem, nice and tight. Very different cars, honestly. It's kind of cool to watch. And then they come back around and they're coming shooting straight at you before hitting this hairpin as you're standing over here by the garage and in the clubhouse, and they just come ripping by you. It's a really cool spot to just sit here, stand, watch, get smoked out a little bit, but have a good time while doing it. Oh, cool. Thank you. What flavor is this? Squeezed to death? Is that orange? Ooh, yum. That sounds good. Yeah. Liquid Death, we got to hit up for a sponsor. They need to be hitting this stuff up real good. Speaking of sponsors and vendors, so I want to do a big shout out to, while track is hot right now, big shout out to King's Equipment for always being the best supplier of equipment around here. Between the mini excavators, the skid steer, and the compactors, you know, that's all we need to maintain this track, and they make sure that it happens. And they're honestly responsible for a lot of the improvements that we've made here as a result of it. Putting the clay down at the beginning, earlier this year, has really helped clean it up a little bit better, keep it from getting dug out. It's really made a big improvement for the drivers. Beyond that, you know, as far as, you know, leading sponsor right there, we've got some other vendors over here. Tiki Sam's with a wood-fired pizza. Dude's coming in clutch, always out here supporting drifters. Junkyard to Go with the hot dogs cart. You know, new addition coming in clutch today. Really glad that they're here. I had a good chili dog from there earlier, a coney without the onions on it. The elephant wagon over there, so elephant ears, fried corn dogs, fried pretzels. Just love the fried foods, desserts, everything awesome. And then we don't have them today, but they'll be out here tomorrow. We got Flavor Fusion coming. They've got ice cream, shaved ice, gelato, things like that. So we'll have some nice cool refreshments that'll be here tomorrow as well. So pretty cool. We were planning for one additional food truck, but they've got some health issues that they're dealing with. So big shout out to all the food trucks. Definitely go over there, get some food. And then the next thing that I'm super stoked about is we've got the tattoo and merch booth set up over here in the garage. So if you come over here, you're still chilling by the live stream, chilling by the DJ. We got DJ Ty over here, killing it, keeping the vibes high, keeping them right. We got cornhole over here as well, so you can hang out, play some games. But go check out the merch. We got shirts, hoodies. I know a lot of stuff has sold out. A lot of stickers. We got 4 different stickers that are over there that we think are really cool, that you think you guys are gonna like. And then of course we got Gold Line Tattoo Club setting up in there. You know, got a nice clean environment for them, a good chill area so they can set up. They can do. They got a ton of flash seats. Go over there, check them out. They got that. What is it? it's like a very like American style tattoos, I believe is the category. So you know, especially if that's your style, they're gonna hook you up with something good. Like I said, ton of options on their flash sheets. They just had a Friday the 13th yesterday, so they got those on their flash sheets as well. So definitely make it over to the merch booth, make it over to the tattoo area. See, they're going to be going all day, but they're going to be going until 10 p.m. I know that sometimes we got people out there until midnight, 1 o'clock doing tattoos and stuff like that, but that's what they're planning for is 10 o'clock. Please get over there, check them out. They're going to love it. Jake, who owns the shop, Jake Pearson, is one of our drifters. He's normally out here shredding it in a E46 BMW, and you know, so get yourself some fresh ink and support local, support our drivers. It all goes to benefit everybody. And then we've got Zach Aggie sponsor. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this. Is it Outward or something like that? It's a performance shop though. He's down there. He's got a really sweet R32 Skyline all set up. He's got some merch that's available for sale as well. You know, again, he keeps the drivers on track, so we want to show the support to people like that show the support to our drivers wherever we can. So I just wanted to take a moment to give a little shout out to all the sponsors, the vendors, people being out here to support it, make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys, more stuff to check out, more stuff to look at. You know, bebop around, enjoy the walk through the pits. You know, we got, like I said, we got the DJ up here over by the clubhouse, the tattoos, the merch, and then we've got music and stuff set down there by the entry and the manji and stuff like that. There's some nice shade down there by the trees. So, you know, you can roam around and enjoy it. This is a very spectator-friendly, very family-friendly environment. Be mindful of the dust and be mindful of the noise. You know, so if you got kids, if you do need earplugs, we got earplugs up here even available because, you know, we don't want anybody hurting their ears from loud. Everyone's pretty good though out here. Most people have exhaust mufflers, things like that to make it so it's not obnoxious to watch. But at the same time, it's still loud, still tire screeching, everything like that. So we want you guys to have a good time. If you guys are having a good time, you guys are comfortable, we're having a good time, we're comfortable, everyone's having a good time and comfortable, man. Like, what more could you want? And that's what we're all about here. We're trying to make it a good, fun environment where we can get people drifting. Whether you're watching, whether you're driving, or whether you're in the passenger seat, we want to get you out here and get you drifting. Because this is a cool motorsport. It's not normal, right? It's not something that you necessarily see in the United States everywhere, but it's grown a lot over the last 10 years I've been doing it, and it's been around for the last 20 plus years here. So doing this is really cool. Seeing this is our attempt at grassroots drifting. So this green turbo E36 coming up sounds rowdy. You know, a lot of the stuff that's going on track, I'm going to let it speak for itself. I mean, it's drifting. It's good. I'll start following people through runs. Wipe this screen off because splashed a little bit. And you know, we'll follow some people. We'll kind of say what I'm seeing, what's dope, what's not as dope. But I'll tell you what, everything's dope. You know, these guys are out here, they're ripping it, right? And it's not hard to get into. But it takes time and it takes effort to get to the point. Your car's working good, it's holding it together. We'll spin out there on entry. Everyone's doing really good with the flagging, understanding what the flags mean. Good, clear communication out there. It's just been really, really cool seeing this stuff together. I can't help but take a moment to sit back and be like, wow. You know, everyone helps make this possible, and I can't help but be grateful. I think it looks like we might. I don't know if we're taking a second to. I do have my radio this time, so I can be informed with what's going on out on track. Unlike last time, where I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. Hey, what's going on out there? So now I got my radio here, so that not only can I stay informed, but you guys at home can stay informed too. You know, so that's what we want. We want everyone to stay on the same page about what's going on, especially with drifting. What is this sport? You know, what are we doing here? We're slide racing, basically. This is skid racing. This is basically a pretty stock E92 BMW 335 that we were out ice drifting on a frozen lake this was with my just barely healed broken arm, drifting that thing on a frozen lake with studs on it. That thing was awesome. Never experienced something like that before in my life, but it was so cool. And so it's cool to see it go from like the ice racing BMW to now it's the lap car. Let's go get some seat time. It's a seat time car. And that's Dylan, one of our drivers, instructors. It might be Josh driving it now, right now, I'm not really sure. Looks like it's Dylan. Driver, instructor, he's out here teaching people, helping people out. So, is there a mute button on this? Nice, Joe. So this is actually really cool. So this guy in the green Mustang right here, he's looking way better. He was cutting the line, so I think his name's Joe. So Joe in the green Mustang, he was cutting the line pretty bad back in May. And I know that like seeing him go wide, seeing him huck it way deeper now he's flowing out there. Now he's moving the way that he needs to be moving. And you can tell he was zigzagging and spinning out. Now he's hucking it and ripping it. So very cool to see him make that much of a shift literally in one day. I mean, it's been a month since the last event, but it's basically in one day he went from cutting it tight and making mistakes basically every lap to he made one change and now he's putting together laps like it's nothing. Now he looks really good out there. So good job, Joe. I want to give you props, for that. It's really cool to see, man. Really cool. He won't know, but maybe he'll see this later and know that, like, man, I see it and I appreciate it and I love to see it. And we got Sparky over here on grid. You'll see him over my shoulder. He is absolutely loving it, killing it, keeping it hot, weaving people in, giving them good space, so everyone kind of has enough space that they can mess up and not necessarily mess up with the person behind you. If they spin out, might. But largely, they can mess up, keep it a good, clean lap for everybody, and everyone can keep on the ribbon. So, good job to the grid worker. Good job to Sparky, our tech coordinator, killing it. Everybody out on track. We got Tyler and Brad over there. They're keeping an eye on things, helping people out, addressing issues as they come up. Our on-track coordinator, safety coordinator, everybody. Really keeping this whole event flowing smoothly. The drivers, the staff. Keeping the tracks flowing smoothly and flowing hot, so it's really, really enjoyable to sit here and watch. We know that's what's really fun is to you're gonna see people just shred, and as a driver, being able to shred like this is you don't get the chance all the time. So want to take advantage of them when you have the opportunity. I don't know if you guys can hear it at home at all, but Ty is going on. We don't want copyright to be an issue or anything like that, but he's going up over here. He's DJing. He's playing music. He's running the vibes high, and it's pretty cool. I'm sitting here watching him, so it's kind of cool sitting here watching like all the stuff that's going on around here, I don't think so. Is there a mute button for this? What? Is there a mute button?
No, but hold on.
some point, Shane? Oh, okay, sick. All right, I'm good. All right, hey guys, welcome back. Sorry, I was taking a couple moments to make sure that we got everything sorted out on track. And off track mostly, that's my responsibility is off track. You know, get this thing shared around to the social media so people are aware of it. Actually, I will let the drivers know as well. Because this is actually one thing that's really cool about having this live stream as a driver is you can watch it later and see like, oh, I wasn't going as wide as I thought I was going. I can go way wider there. Having that overhead view to be able to catch yourself is so sick. And then at the same time, being able to cut to another person that's flying on you and be like, it's just constant information that is so useful and so cool to have as a driver. And I think it's really cool as a spectator to be able to have this level of perspective on things and see how everything is going on out there. Just get an idea of the scale of like the ridiculousness that's going on. And so maybe like, I don't know when's this next session end at? It's like 6. I think this next session ends at 6:30. I don't have the schedule in front of me. All right, cool. That's all shared. That's all good to go. Something that's been asked me a few times for people interested in July 12th. Thank you. Okay, so we got another 30 minutes of A and B group. That's sweet, and then we'll switch to C group. So I don't know exactly how this cadence is going to go, but we got 30 minutes until this session is over. I know that this is what people want to watch. This is what's cool to see. It's good, high quality drifting. C group, it slows down a little bit because, you know, hey, that's what we're here to do. Is we're here to learn how to take the fact that I have 4 more people on the track than I'm used to, and be able to just handle the pressure, right? And with that, you know, I remember my first time ever doing a tandem, you know, and it was a super loose tandem, and even then it kind of freaked me out a little bit to where like I had done this track, you know, 50 or 20. I had done 20 laps or whatever throughout the day. As soon as you put somebody behind me, even though they're 100 foot back, it still freaked me out and I spun out on the first corner. You know, so being able to make the transition from it's me to it's me and then 6 other people is a very, very big jump that just you can't help but get nervous about it. So that's the point of C group, which is why we want to slow it down, because you don't need that. This is not how you want to learn. This is how you want to party. You know, this is what you want to get. You want to learn to get to the point where you can go party and have 4, 5, 6 cars on track. Nobody's messing up, and you're just jamming lap after lap after lap after lap after lap. And that's all we're doing here, is we're jamming. Let me see here. So what is going on today? I guess maybe that's a good one. So it's so June 14th and 15th. It's the Mid-Michigan Drift Club, Jackson Matsuri. So we're out here at Jackson Speedway in Jackson, Michigan. 500 Speedway Drive, Jackson, Michigan 49203, I believe is the zip code. It's $10 as a spectator to get in, $10 a day. So we're going to be out here all day today until 10:30, and then all day tomorrow from we start drifting at 10, I think, and then we go until 7 o'clock tomorrow. So another full day of drifting tomorrow. So people should be jamming, but also chilling, because we got 2 full days of this stuff. You don't need to burn yourself out. You don't need to burn your car out. You don't need to burn your tires out. If you want to come watch this, it's $10 to get in. It's super cheap. Kids 12 and under get in for free, and that's because we want people to, you know, come out here, enjoy the family atmosphere, enjoy the time, enjoy this motorsport. And if you want to be here for 30 minutes or 10 hours, it doesn't matter. It's worth it. It's worth it for 10 minutes, honestly, just to come see it and be like, oh wow, this is so cool. If you're really smart, you really want the pro tip, you show up with an SA 2015 Plus helmet. So those are going to be they're meant to be like for automotive use on track. They got the fire ratings and all that stuff. Show up with an SA 2015 helmet, hop in a car, hop in a passenger seat, and take yourself for the ride of your life. Later on, we'll have not this weekend, but future events, we'll have ride-along experiences to make it really easy and really inviting for you guys. But that is the coolest thing about this sport, honestly. Bar none, being able to be a passenger in a drift car is the most fun you can have for no effort, basically. You know, you just need a helmet. Oh, sick. So just got confirmation. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone while I'm doing this. Just got confirmation that Flavor Fusion is going to be able to make it out here today. So we'll have ice cream, gelato, shaved Italian ice, and slushies, I think is the other thing on deck. So we got a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. You know, I think today and tomorrow, but we know it gets hot out there. So that's pretty exciting. Fresh squeezed lemonade though in the meantime over in the elephant ear truck. Oh, this will be good. Do you want to be over here?
Yeah, I'll come over.
All right, cool. So while we got A group going, and this will be cool, Shane can come in on it just as well. We got Big Dog. Big Dog Shane Whalley over here. Is it Whalley or Whaley? How do I say it?
It's really pronounced Whaley, but I always go by Wally.
Okay.
Just because. Is this on? Is this one on? I don't know if this mic's on or not.
Is it? Or is it picking up from me?
Okay, cool.
All right, we're good on both?
Sweet.
All right, what's up? So we got Ray McDivitt and we got Shane Whalley here.
How's it going?
Did you want to take a second to introduce yourself, give him a little background? Because this guy has been around. I think I remember watching you the first time I ever saw drifting live at Streets of Detroit on Woodward at Woodward Dream Cruise. I think
Yes.
end of 2014.
2014 and 2015.
It might have been 2015.
I think
I can't remember.
as well. Yeah.
But that was the first time I ever saw drifting in person, and I remember seeing you there. So
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. I actually started my drifting at this track. So this was one of my first tracks I ever drifted at back in 2011. Long time ago. And I didn't have like a crazy built car back then. I had a 200 horsepower Celica Supra that you could just go out, thrash on.
What was done to it? What was done to your
Turbo 5M, cut springs, cut knuckles, like.
Did you cut the knuckles yourself?
Yeah, dirty build.
Did anyone know how to do it at the time?
No, you could take the worst car that you can find out here, and it is better than the best car we had back then. Like it was grimy back then.
And is it blown out suspension, cut springs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, love it. Okay.
Yeah, boat, floater, you know. But it was fun. It was a good time, and then after that we went on and decided to build some more Pro-Am style car, and that's when we built
your next car
my
after that?
GTO.
GTO.
Yeah, so we went from Celica Supra crap box to Pro-Am GTO, and then that car got turboed, and then progressed after that, one thing after another.
And when you switched to the GTO, it's not like that was a common chassis that people were using.
No, that was my daily driver, and I still owed like $15,000 on it when I built it.
There was one I think there was one GTO in like FD.
Yeah, Reese Millen.
That's what I was about to say, Reese. So
yeah, Reese Millen, and then me.
And did you talk with them to figure out?
I tried.
Okay.
I tried. So I talked to the guy that built that car, and he basically told me that car was like S chassis subframes underneath it.
Okay. Oh, the comp car.
Yeah. So the FD GTO. Because the rules weren't as bad. The rules weren't as strict back then, so they could do that. But I couldn't, so that led me down this path of like having to build, design, and engineer my own suspension parts for that car. And
gotcha.
Kind of did the same thing with my other cars since then too.
And has any like support for the GTO like grown over time or anything? Because I know that. Okay.
Yeah, the GTOs are becoming more popular now. They're still a trash chassis, and I'll die by that.
I was talking to Zach Service because he's got GTO.
Yeah, the rear suspension design is just doo-doo, and
gotcha.
The front strut top design needs to be completely redone, and they take a lot of work to
because the geometry's all wrong.
Yeah, they take a lot of work to make work.
And would you say like that's something I know I've learned with drifting over time is like it's like the geometry is what matters.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like a bike. It's like mountain bikes with their geometry, where it completely changes the use of the bike if you change the geometry.
Yes.
It's the same thing with these
Having
things.
a good suspension setup will take you a lot further than having a lot of horsepower.
Night and day difference.
For sure.
Yeah. You can take the same car with 200 horsepower his entire life. You can go from being a noob to being a pro on that same 200 horsepower car.
Night and difference.
Just by having good geometry, set up well, and you know how to drive the crap out of it.
Yep. And then you take a car that's got a good setup and give it even more horsepower, and then you start fighting for more grip, for more speed, and then you become and then it becomes this constant setup change of like grip, horsepower, and then constantly making little tweaks on your alignment and everything.
Because you can't go like, you set up a 200 horsepower, like my RB car, right? I got an RB20 S14 over there, 220 horsepower stock ECU, basically roughly is probably what it's about at. You take that and you make 350 horsepower. Not only do you need to change half the car because now you need 350Z differential, 350Z axles, 350Z transmission. You know, like you got to reinforce your, you know, whatever, because now it's all tweaking. So not only need to upgrade the entire hard spin, but now your car setup starts to change. Because you're making more power, you need more grip, you need a different setup, you need to do different things.
You need the weight to transfer differently, you need different spring rates, all kinds of stuff, And
and as you start hucking it harder too, even if you don't have power, if you just start driving faster, now it's like, okay, well, I went from an 8K spring in the front of that car, it's kind of boaty. You know, I put a 12K spring in the front, now it's like, now it's the way I want it to feel because I'm going faster than the car was ever meant to go, and now I'm having different problems.
Yeah, I think for something like this, like what you guys run here with like all the drift events you guys do, ideally perfect setup for what you guys do I see at your events is like a well set up car with like 350 to 400 horsepower is like perfect.
Yeah.
Because I brought my car out here.
Yeah, how was that?
I broke it immediately.
Well, how'd you break it?
My car is set up to go fast and have tons and tons. When I came out here was, this looks like a second gear track for a lot of cars. I don't want to be running my car in second gear because it is a weaker gear ratio for the amount of horsepower I make.
Gotcha.
The car makes over 800 wheel horsepower, and it's
a
super
whole new set of problems as a result of that.
And it's super gripped up. So I was running the whole track in third, fourth before, and it was coming down to some of the tight hairpins where it was starting to get out of the power band, and I decided, you know what, I'll put it down into second and try and power out of it, give it a little clutch kick, and scattered the gearbox. So,
what kind of box is it?
It's a GSR dog box. Yeah, so
why? Do you know why that happened? Like, why? What about that?
The car is way too gripped up, and I just put too much into it.
A lot of grip, and then you're digging out a low-speed corner.
Digging out of a low-speed corner.
What's the rocket ship?
I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. I knew better, but I did it anyways because I thought it would be cool. It wasn't.
And is it just second gear, and it's like gonna get rebuilt?
Second, third, fourth. It took out second, third, and fourth gear.
How do you fix that?
Take the trans apart and replace whatever's broken.
And it's set up for that, right? Because it's a dog box?
Yeah, they're relatively easy to disassemble and service, but how much it'll cost to fix, I won't know until I take it apart and find out what's actually broken. Good news, reverse and first still works, so I can drive it around the pits and move it and load it in my trailer.
That's good. That's good. But that still sucks, though. It's like I mean, I know I broke my transmission here. I broke an axle. I mean, I've only broken an axle and transmission, but like when I broke the transmission, it was like second gear, and it was just like the relatively light, but also like still a pretty goose in it, you know, clutch kick, and it just sheared the teeth right off the second gear. SR trans, you know, surprise type of thing, but very different story with the dog boxes.
Yeah. They're easier to work on at least, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, dude, that really sucks though. But it's like I know that feeling of like I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that. Why did I do that? It seemed like a good idea at the time.
I went back to the pits after it broke, and somebody's like, "Hey, at least it happened at the end of the day, right? Not the first session out." Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Would you do any? Would you bring that car back here and do anything differently with it, or would you be like, no, it's just really too much car?
I would loosen it up a lot.
Just loosen it up.
Yeah.
That way you can have fun with it.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't run the 285, 200 treadwear tires that are on it. That's for sure.
Gotcha. So if you had like a 265, 300 or something, 300.
Yeah. Tire pressure up, maybe stiffen it up a little bit.
And then you can just drive it however you want.
Turn the boost down.
And it'll just blow the tires off, worst case scenario, rather than anything else.
Yeah, so like lowest power setting on that car is still like 650 wheel. So like that's as low as I can take it. I just have to bump up tire pressure and try and loosen it up as much as I can. And
Was it fun? Was like,
oh yeah, I mean I love this track.
because it's so. I know how quick it. I know the jump from going from RB20 S14 to 1JZ IS300, right? The amount of speed that I gain just is huge. So I can only imagine going from, figure around 300 horsepower to 800 horsepower, like how short each section must feel.
So where we come around this corner here, I was in like third gear halfway to that entry already. And then just flat out. And then the car's set up so grippy, and I'm so used to just staying in it on these long tracks I run, that I get around that corner, I'm like, oh my God, I need to scrub all of this speed off immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's just like no lift speed scrubbing through that whole back section to slow down. But I mean, it's fun.
It's fun.
It is fun. I still have a good time. But it might just be a bit too much car.
Yeah, like it's like you get from point A to point B a little bit too fast, and it's like not meant for that. Especially like the little straightaway section or whatever. Like, you just jump.
Yep.
That makes sense.
It's not a good car to follow either, because it just makes tons of tire smoke. So
yeah. And I'm sure it's like it makes it a little jumpy.
Oh, it's very, very.
And it's
very,
hard to
very
drive
twitchy,
a jumpy car smooth on a track that wants you to be
it's
jumpy.
so tight, yeah. Yeah, you definitely, I'd say 90% of the cars I see out here are set up like perfect for this kind of event.
Cool.
Now, a Wasso, when you guys ran a Wasso, my car was super happy at a Wasso.
It's close.
It's long, flowy, high speed.
You're not digging out of a tight corner and then
there's a Manji in there that's optional if you have enough power to skip it.
Yep.
So,
and I like it too because it's like if you skip it, like the fact that you're like let the car unload and then throw it in.
Yeah, you can just pick up tons of speed and then pour on almost. You can almost throw it in backwards to scrub speed off coming into the infield on that section.
Sick.
So yeah, that's a ton of fun.
And there's enough room where like the spacing is right to where it's not too short.
Good for tandems.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Are you gonna? So you think you're gonna have it fixed for WMD? Did you register for WMD? Or?
I can't make it back out here or to. I could go to a Wasso, but I can't make it out to Gingerman.
That's right. That's right.
So which sucks because Gingerman would be like the perfect track for my car.
But
I'm interested to see how a lot of these other cars do out at Gingerman.
I am too.
Because it's a big, fast track.
Big, fast track.
So at Grid Life, we hit triple-digit entry speeds on.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh, 105 to 115. Yeah. Basically, it's
it's blind.
Yeah.
It's over a crest blind hill.
And then you gotta time it because it's kind of similar to here, but you're going way faster. Where you're timing it to shoot a gap. So
if you're doing like 100 miles an hour down the back straight, you'll see where to enter, and you basically want to transition on the blind crest. And as soon as you come over that hill, you'll know if you're going fast enough to make it or too fast and going off. Good thing is there's plenty of runoff on that entire track everywhere. So.
And is there room where it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna straighten it out and I'm gonna go off, rather than like, oh shit, I'm going sideways off.
Done that plenty of times.
Yeah, for hot track excursions.
Done enough rally cross in my drift car at that track before. So yeah.
I was just doing some dirt track in here last week. I went to huck this and it just like didn't transition back, and I'm like, all right, well I'm going through the dirt and I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So you think you're gonna fix for a Wasso though? Like
I'm gonna try. I'll have to get the box apart and see what's broken, the availability on parts, and
who knows what'll be back.
Make sure it's not like a $4,000 rebuild.
I hope not.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it was like $400.
It's definitely gonna be more than that because a single gear is $400.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's like it gives some insight into the people back at home. Anybody watching this, and it's just like when you start playing with big power.
More power, more problems.
And it's like 800 horsepower isn't that much by today's standards, but a drift car really only maxes out at like 1200. On full FD, like big open tracks, more than 1200 horsepower is like useless.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what that thing basically makes is 1200 crank horsepower. Yeah. And it's only on 12 pounds of boost, making 800 wheel. So I mean, there's plenty of room to turn it up.
22 PSI.
We were planning to tune it to like 18, 19 pounds of boost, and then once we seen it made 800 wheel on 12, we were like, let's just call that good, because that's plenty.
Are you running E85?
Yeah.
So it's 800 horsepower at 12 PSI on E85.
Yep. 6 liter.
Plenty of headroom to go higher.
6 liter high compression LS not a stock motor. I mean, it's a built motor.
Yeah, it's built to make power.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's so little. That's so like little use of the turbo to get that much out of it.
Yeah, we're actually dialing the turbo back on it.
And it's a Garrett
G45 1500.
G45 1500
Single turbo.
Turbo.
It'll make full boost at 3,500 RPM if I wanted to.
And is that's like the right turbo for that size engine,
it's
right?
It's perfect. It is absolutely perfect.
So it's got a good power band?
All the way.
Really?
We're actually delaying how fast the turbo comes on.
To keep the torque down? Or?
Yeah, to keep the torque down, to keep the rods in the motor.
That makes sense,
so,
yeah. And that's something that, like, you know, just other little, I like that when people watch this, they get little fun facts, but it's like, you know, torque kills rods. You know, torque is what bends the rods. Those high cylinder pressures at the low piston velocity and everything like that, I think is like, it just crushes them. And so, given, especially as a drift car, that you can use 2,500, 3,000 RPM all the way up to limiter at, you know,
about 7,000 RPM.
7,000 RPM, and some cars are over and up above $8,000 sometimes too. So you've got a massive power band that you're trying to use. But if you're blowing the tires off or bending rods at that bottom end, but you still want to be able to dig out of a corner to some degree. And especially with the turbo, like you got NA power at a point, and then you got turbo power at a point. Like as that ramp from like I'm digging out of a corner, and then now it's starting to light up, getting that set up to work right with bleeding off boost. It's all like a really cool, difficult thing, so that like the car delivers the power that you want, when you want it, how you want it, so that it works for when you're driving, the track that you're driving, and the setup that your car has.
Yeah, and you know, that is one of the benefits of V8 turbo, is you still have all the benefits of V8.
Yeah, well,
and you have that cool turbo.
500 horsepower NA?
It's 400 to the wheel NA.
400 to the wheel, so yeah, over 500 to the crank NA. That's pretty wild.
I mean,
I've never had a 500 horsepower car, let alone one that's just like,
it's surprisingly easy to make one with an LS.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
Nobody wants to do the LS swap cliche though, you know. Yeah. It's kind of played out. And
but it's like tried and true, right?
It's the easy way to do things, but they're reliable, they make good power, super easy to service, parts are cheap, easily available. That's why the first thing I did when I got that Mustang was throw the Coyote away.
Yeah, it's not worth the complications.
I hate working on them.
Yeah.
It's just everything's so packed.
And that's something that becomes like super relevant with these cars, is like simplicity, right?
Yeah.
Simplicity is so valuable, because when you have an issue and you need to fix it at the track with whatever you have, if it's complicated and you need some obscure stuff, you're probably done.
When building a car, you'd always want to build it around serviceability and make things as simple as possible. Take into consideration like fuel, oil line routings, everything like that. I see a lot of people will just like, they'll run oil lines right next to a header tube and just heat wrap it. Like, it might work for a little bit, you might get away with it forever, but it's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's
like,
unnecessary heat that you're putting your oil in, and then that's heat that's going into your engine, and then that's, next thing you know, you spun a bearing because you hit 320 on your oil temps and you didn't realize it, and you got no viscosity, so it's thin as water.
Same thing with fuel lines, keep fuel lines away from anything hot.
Yep.
I see a lot of people will cut corners on not doing stuff the safe way, just to get it done cheap and
or just to get it done.
Make it quote unquote work.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, good enough.
I'm guilty of doing it plenty of times myself. So
Same.
like I can't be too mad about it.
Or in situations where you're sitting at something like, I don't know what else to do with this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this, and like it's.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a desperate situation, sometimes a couple zip ties is all that you got, and it comes in handy, and you know, you do what you got to do.
It's 3 a.m. You've been up for the last week and a half trying to get your car ready for the event tomorrow anyways.
Yeah, screw this. I'm doing what I got to do, get this done on the track.
Yep. And it just sucks though when you come out and then, you know, the other side of that, you come out with that same thing and now it messes up immediately, and now you're sitting at the track doing the same thing you could have been doing at home.
But whenever you take some shortcuts like that and those parts fail, just don't get mad about it. Just tell yourself, I did this to myself, I had this coming. Yep. And then do it the right way next time.
That literally happened to me last weekend. My JZ things, serpentine belt walked off the tensioner, shredded. I was like, yep, that'll happen when you don't put a manual tensioner on a JZ and you start banging limiter constantly. The tensioner floppies, and and then the belt walks, and he shreds.
Yep.
So it happened, fixed it, did a couple laps, it started happening again. I'm like, yep, nope, we're good. I don't need to do that anymore. I'll fix it. I have the right tool to fix it.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice having those easy wins, though. I almost want to leave things wrong with my things, so I have some easy wins to go fix.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It's cool. I think it's not every day that somebody gets to like you get to have a talk with like a group of experienced people that it's like there's so many little tidbits in everything that we just said that are just like, wow, I didn't really think about that.
And I mean, I also want to point out that I think it's pretty awesome what you guys have done with Michigan drifting over the last couple of years. It's been a long time since we've had something like this in Michigan. I mean, the last like series we had was probably almost a decade ago in Michigan. That was like consistently happening, and I see what you guys are doing for new drivers that want to come in, and it's absolutely awesome.
Because that's how we grow the sport.
Yeah, because a track like this is perfect for a new driver to come to. It's low risk.
Yep.
It's super affordable, easy on tires. I mean, it's just the perfect place to learn how to drift at. And if anybody out there is trying to get into drifting, you guys do clinic days as well, too, right?
And that's actually why we restructured our normal drift days. We've moved them to the driver advancement day, which is just like a hybrid between this clinic and drift day. But it's like, we know that like, this is different. People aren't used to this. This is a different style of driving. You don't get to drive like this really anywhere nearby at a minimum. So it's like we're introducing people to a whole new style of driving where like even if you're good, you could be really bad here. Yeah. But then like you learn it and then you're really good. So that's why we shifted to that driver advancement day mentality.
And you don't have to worry about being bad when you come here. You can be bad. You don't get good by not being bad.
Exactly. And like the tools.
You have to be bad.
And the resources and the drivers are growing to where it's like you can turn to anybody and they're gonna help you show you the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if like you've noticed it, but like everybody going deep on entry is like such a fresh thing to see because it's like we've had issues for so long and everyone goes super shallow and super tight and like they're beelining it. And then now every driver I see is they're going deep and they're going deeper, and it's like that simple lesson for everybody to get that is so hard.
Yeah, and then you also have the super tight switchbacks in the back there that teach transition control really, really good. Because I mean, it's not exactly an easy spot to do that many transitions that quickly.
You do a bank corner that then is like it's like and every corner is different.
If you're coming out here to learn, I mean, if you can learn that,
you can learn
you're gonna be fine.
And that's why it's like breaking it down to where it's like you learn a corner. Now you learn that corner. Now you learn how to put the two corners together. Now you got those two corners. Now, like you take it in pieces because it is a lot. Just come in and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit this, and you're like, oh man, I didn't hit that right at all. It's almost like hitting a rhythm section on a dirt bike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna triple through this thing. Well, you might need a double, triple, single.
Yeah, just don't case it.
Yeah. and like a lot of people come out here and they're just trying to quad in and they're casing it hard every time. It's like, guys, just roll it first, man, and then double it.
Yeah, it's a good spot to come out and learn the basics, learn what you need to do, and
it's a little tough when we get people like who've never drifted before. We got this little donut box over here over our corner. It's nice because like they learn the downside of it is they don't have anything sustained for very long, and so you can't really get a good feel of like throttle and steering.
There's not really enough room to do like figure 8 training out here, is there?
So that's why we're making do with like.
That would be good to do at Owasso though. If you guys did a train day at Owasso, that's plenty of room out there.
That's what a big reason. Like we were like, if we can keep this going and they like it and enjoy it, to where like that becomes an option, we can do good. We can do really good clinic because we could have a donut box, we could have a figure 8 box, and we could have a simple course that like you can hop between them and you have a good linear progression there.
Yeah, I think a good training layout, in my opinion, would be a figure 8 layout. You do the figure 8 and then you learn to power past the center of the figure 8 and link into the other end. Whoa. That gives you that long transition carry. And if you're picking up too much speed, you can learn to handbrake to scrub speed while carrying angle, and then you go back into doing a figure 8.
That's a really, really good idea.
So it'd be a good layout to learn both.
And I haven't seen a figure 8, personally I haven't seen a figure 8 or done a figure 8 ran that way, but that's a really, really good idea.
It's a good way to do it tight, learn your transitions, and also learn how to carry out a little bit of distance as well.
And then build and scrub speed too. Like even that process is a little different. You're not being sustained, and you can make that scrub as hard and as tight as you want.
Yeah, you can learn how to eye up where you're coming in at speed.
Yep.
How long you need to scrub speed on handbrake to carry angle out.
What's going to happen with the car as you do that? How much angle can you throw before it pulls back?
How's the car bite on transitions? And just a good way to learn. I think if you guys, I don't know how the availability of Owasso for doing something like that, but yeah, that would be a good spot to do it. Or a Milan skid pad day.
Yep. Yeah, a really good clinic day. It's just tough. Like the one thing that like the message that it's hard to get out there is like the value of these clinic days to people. Like I think people, everybody who comes to it, they know, they experience the value. You know, they were like we're talking 3 to 5 years of drifting in one day is like the level of like. For whenever we were going at it, and we're teaching ourselves, we don't know what the hell going in. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know, I literally didn't know how to do a skid other than like, I took my Subaru down dirt roads and done like rally kind of like ripping it, sideways. But I didn't know what a skid was when I came into this. So to be out there, go from like figuring it out all on my own with a little bit of help from a friend for like from Tyler actually for learning the initial stuff. Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing.
Having a little bit of input to help guide you into the right direction goes a really long way.
It makes the world, like, hey, you're going too slow.
I mean, they say practice makes perfect, but if you practice doing it wrong, practice is just going to make permanent.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have someone to guide you to help do it, learn it the right way and pick it up faster.
Beyond not having the best spot for the basic stuff that you got to learn, it does work out well where at least you get like a sustained donut in a transition and another transition, and then you got to carry it around the bank. Yeah. So we kind of got like a little bit of the stuff that we would have with a nice figure eight, but it's not the same. You can't just go and try it again and again. You know, it's very much like da-da-da-da-da, bop, bop, and then come back around. Da-da-da-da-da, bop, bop, and then you get transitions and stuff. So it's better than nothing, but it's less than ideal.
Yeah, I think a skid pad would be a good like first stage of learning. And then honestly, a track like this would be
This is the best stage, because you can't mess it up. Like if you mess it up, you know you messed it up because you're
right. I mean, like a skid pad would be best first stage for learning the basics, the bare bones basics of like doing donuts, doing figure eights, stuff like that. And then this is where you would want to come to next.
Yeah, to go from being like, all right, I know how to drift a car, I can put it sideways, and I can handle it somewhat, but I still don't know what I'm doing. You come here and you start learning on this, where it's like there's a line, there's a path. If you mess up, there's nothing. You're not going to mess up your car, really.
Unless you're going like mock Jesus down that straightaway and don't lift.
Yeah, and most likely all you're going to do is hit some tires and like you might have some scuffs. Yeah. You know, unless you really, really mess up and hit a pole. But you should really only have tires. But then like you're learning like the car control and everything. Where like I know a lot of people I can drift. You can put a car sideways, you can keep it sideways, you can transition to do another sideways turn. And you can do that, and that's good. But now, can you control the positioning of your car around the track? Yeah. Now this is where you're going to learn those the good habits.
And do you guys have anybody out here for the clinic days to help with like setup and stuff like that? Like
that's a big
tech on vehicle setup.
That's actually the biggest problem we have. Like the biggest problem isn't the driver's skill; it's their car setups. Yeah. So
boaty and grippy and all kinds of stuff.
Just coilovers with 3 different damper settings on every corner. Wrong springs. People showing up with open diffs, torsons.
8 turns of preload in this spring, none in this one.
Full stiff in the rear, full soft in the front. So the car is just like, looking like a Lolo.
Yeah, keep your.
It's like, what does it do? It controls sway. What are we doing? We're swaying our car back and forth.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell some of these cars that are not on sway bars, but just by the way they roll into some of these corners,
or their dampers are set wrong, or they have the wrong. They have like, I got cut springs, like it's like setup is the biggest problem that we experience because it leads to everything, and it's hard to find sometimes. And like, so on that, I'm
always. Well, do people still use forms?
That's the problem anymore. There's no good resource of information.
It all turned into just like Facebook shit posting, didn't it?
Yeah. And like Facebook isn't meant for you to find information; it's meant for you to stay on Facebook. Yeah. So people just ask the same question 100 times, which is understandable. Where else are you gonna find it?
Yeah, because it gets buried.
And so there actually is so a couple things. So I'll finish on the setup note. So we work on people's setup. In the tech book, we've got a whole page dedicated to like, hey, use these basic setup guidelines and you're gonna be in good shape.
Nice.
And a lot of people don't read that or implement it or whatever, but the ones who do, they're like, yo, I read through the tech sheet, I did what your thingy said, and I'm like, you're gonna be set. They come out here and they're good. Like they're just learning to drive.
They have the baseline settings of where they need to be to find out how their driving style affects their car, and then they can make fine-tune and adjustments from there.
And it's
like getting the base model car on a Seto.
Yep.
And then you just do a little bit of changes from there.
Yeah, put a little bit of this, put a little bit of that. And it's like your base setup, you know, and we're gonna, preach this over and over. We keep preaching it. It's like coilovers. Honestly, you can get out here in a stock 350Z with a welded diff and have a really good time. But coilovers, differential, a seat, a working handbrake for this track, and a small angle kit is nice. I think that's, but like you really need coilover, diff, seat.
Seat for sure, yeah. Seat is definitely one of the things that is overlooked by a lot of people.
Big time.
And get a good seat.
Yeah, something that holds you well.
Yeah, something with a good side bolster on it at least.
Yep.
Head bolsters are nice for safety.
Yep.
I understand they're expensive, so if you can't afford head bolsters, you know, it is what it is. But I see a lot of people just buy like the cheapest seats they can get on eBay, and you'll just watch the whole thing just flexing while they're driving. And
they're dealing with a lot of the same problem that they were dealing with before.
Why's my car swerving like that?
Yeah, it's because you're
swerving. You look back, you're swerving in it.
Yep.
Yeah, the pedal's going like this too, because you're moving.
And I show people that all the time. It's like, man, you don't realize how especially people who show up in stock seats, like how bad you are as a result of having a stock seat. Because you're trying to do this. You're trying to put your knee up against the thing.
You're using your leg against the center console to hold yourself in place.
Got to play in two corners ahead.
You're fighting the G-forces while holding the steering wheel.
Yep. Trying to make fine adjustments like this.
Where realistically, you just want to be in the car as relaxed as you can. You want to be able to throw it into the corner and release it and let the car transition itself, catch it, and get back on throttle. You don't want to be having to paw at the wheel, fight yourself, fight the car. Just keep it nice, smooth, easy.
And that's sorry, I'm just sharing this to the I realized the event page.
Thank you, sir.
Because it's like each component does a specific thing that you need. It's like the differential keeps your back tires spinning together. You need that to drift. A BLSD is not good enough. A Torsen is not good enough. Like a Torsen will do it as long as you drive it right. And
I got a stock torsion diff in my car.
In
the Mustang.
Really? And you just like the way. Well, you're on power a lot too.
Yeah, it's always locked.
So that's the thing. It's like I tell people with Torsens, it's like the thing is, as soon as you lift, be ready for that thing to snap on you because it can open up immediately and throw you. And that's what we've seen S2000. Actually, the two nicest cars that we've seen go through the wall, as far as like a really good condition S2000 and a brand new ND Miata, have gone through that wall because they had Torsen differentials.
Yeah, and the difference between like a full-on spool, a torsion, or like an Eaton True track, I mean, you can notice the difference in transition, especially. And I love the way a spool feels.
How does this?
It's basically welded.
Okay.
So a spool is basically a direct connection between one axle and the other. It's essentially a welded diff with no gears you have to weld. It's one big piece.
And it's just you just stick that whole thing in.
Yeah, you take the differential out.
Whole differential out.
And the spool replaces it.
With the pinion on it? Or
the ring gear. And the ring gear goes on the new spool.
On the spool,
which is basically the spool. All a spool is imagine the differential that's inside there is just all one
you don't need
piece of metal.
It doesn't have
There's no turning parts. There's nothing inside of it.
It's light. Is that the advantage?
It's lighter weight.
The advantage of spool over welded is
and you don't have to break. You're not going to break welds either, which is nice.
There's reliability.
But you're basically just fully locked all the time. Acceleration, deceleration in the rear.
And is that called a? I hear full spool. Like, is there like, what does that mean? Does that mean anything?
Not that I know of.
That's the word. Okay.
Spool.
Yeah, that's what I took. I think we're going until like 10.
Well, a spool basically the same as a welded diff. Welded diff is like the cheapest, easiest option.
Yep.
For somebody that's just trying to get into it.
And you can weld an open differential. You can weld, and I've done an open differential and I've done a torsion.
I've welded a torsion and an open as well.
I haven't done a VLSD, but I think I've heard of people being able to do that, but I don't know.
I mean, there's always a way to do it.
Yeah, right.
If you shove enough metal in there, I'm sure it'll lock up eventually.
Yeah, just fill it.
But a good diff goes a long way. Good suspension, good seat, handbrake.
Another backup for like for a good differential, right? So we got welded is easy, cheap, a 1.5 or a 2-way.
Pretty much free if you can borrow a welder from somebody.
Yeah. And then we go up to a clutch type differentials where we got 1.5s and 2-ways, what we really want to be looking at. 1.5 if you like a little bit more of a snappy car. So if you had like your car, I'm like, oh, I like it snappy. Might go with a 1.5-way if you want a clutch type.
Yeah, I've also used torsion diffs for drifting as well. Or not torsion, helical diffs.
Helical diffs, okay.
So like a Eaton True Track. It's basically just a bunch of helical gears inside of the differential, and like witchcraft happens and it locks and unlocks in certain ways. I don't know how it works.
Gotcha. Is it full lock on power?
It's full lock on power, and I think it's fully unlock on or when it's not on power, I think it's unlocked. It never skipped a wheel when I was turning at slow speed. That is the one thing that sucks about welded diffs, is especially on older cars, like older Toyotas and older Nissans and stuff, is that you might make it through a full successful drift day, and then you will snap an axle turning around in the parking lot.
Yep. Literally, yep.
Yeah.
I remember I snapped an axle with like the lightest of clutch kicks that I could have ever given because of or
another issue of people who break axles all the time is because their ride height is way too low.
Because the angle of the axles is all out of whack.
Yeah, and they snap the CVs on them.
It's too. The CVs are designed for a certain angle range.
Yeah, you almost want them to be like straight at ride height.
Yep.
Which doesn't look cool. We get it.
But that's also why we modify, like, raise the subframe up. You know,
they make drop knuckles and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, there's subframe risers and drop knuckles, and you can get a good 2 inches of
sometimes you can get
moving it.
Yeah, sometimes you can get about 2 inches of actually lowering the car while keeping the drive line in line essentially.
And then the other thing is, like, whenever it's also, not only is it out of whack with the angle, but they get stretched too. Yeah. So people put spacers on the back side of them so that at least they're not getting overstretched.
I don't like that idea, but I'm sure people do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like 5 mil spacers and 10 mil spacers that I know that have put on back of like.
I mean, I guess if looking cool is what you're into, and you just want to look. I mean, if looking cool is what you're into, you wouldn't be drifting.
Everybody wants to look cool while drifting. So, that's the whole point.
Obviously.
But yeah, if low car is life, you got to make it work somehow.
Yeah, and then if you want to build a car like mine, it's got to look like a fucking monster truck.
Because it needs all the suspension travel too. Like it's got the car is doing. It's a wild how much work the car is doing. You know, you're sideways, you're on power, you're handling, you're going over bumps and shit like that. It's moving, it's shaking, but it's also got to stay.
I've slammed that car before down to the ground, and I was like, yo, this looks tight. And then I drove it, and I was like, this isn't cool at all.
Drives bad.
Yeah, it drove real bad. So that went back up immediately.
So we just switched, by the way, over to C Group.
Okay.
This is their last session of the day. They're running they're going to run double lap short course because we're going to still run it like C Group, but we wanted to give them some exposure to this corner because like the way we've been running it before is they don't get in a chance to run the hairpin.
Yeah.
And it makes it tough. So when you go from C Group to B Group, you know, you're jumping in with a bunch of heaters that are ripping the track and you've never even hit this corner before. So,
it's definitely a fun corner to hit.
It's so much fun, and it's an easy corner. It's wide, it's slow, and it's kind of like a really good one to learn.
I mean, you could come in fast and throw backies and do it if you really wanted to.
And that's the thing. It's like that's actually the fastest point on the track. Is coming into this corner. Like it's interesting because you would think either here, the entrance. You know, you'd think either the entrance, the transition between the oval and the car track, or you might even think the entry down there. But that straightaway.
Oh no, I was clicking up into 4th gear on that straightaway.
Yeah, it's sick.
I was in 3rd and on rev limiter, and I was like, click.
And were you running the outside of the track as one big sweeper?
Yeah, I came off of the far corner in 3rd, and then as soon as I transitioned, I upshifted 4th, held it all the way, and then dragged e-brake about halfway down the track to slow down, and then flicked in backwards into the hairpin here. It's a lot of fun.
Did you try running down the right side of the track on the run up and then swinging it out into the zone, that zone that's out there at all?
Which side? This one here?
Yeah. So as you're coming down that same straightaway that we were just talking about, instead of running the outside on the left side of the track, you can kind of like come out of the corner, straighten up,
cut it halfway,
rip it down the right side of the track, and then swoop out into this corner.
No, I didn't do that. I came out the back of the track, third, powered on, transition, ran it wide, upshifted fourth, and then basically where it makes that hook, I was already transitioning on e-brake to slow down because it was just, I mean, it's like, this is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where he's on the right side, I would do that, especially on a slower car where I have zero chance of ever like making this section work. I'll run down the right side of the track and then swing it out into the addition right there. And so it's like a really fun, like, you hit a bump, and then like as soon as your car stabilizes, you huck the entry.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's super, super fun. So just a different way of running that line. And that's what's also really cool about this track is that there's an intent for how this is meant to be ran, but then you can just do it differently and it's fine.
You want to know the intent we used to run this track with back in the day that was super obnoxious? So you see where that grass patch is right there?
Uh-huh.
We used to jump that and do initiations into that turn over there. Except it was rocks back then and it was a little bit steeper and not as far. It was ignorant.
Ooh, well, dude, that just made me think of like, if you come this way.
I think it used to be higher up and the track, I think that it used to be higher up though.
Well, I do wonder if like.
I don't remember it being that shallow. I remember it being like a steep runoff.
Because I'm looking at this, like you can come over here and like imagine like if you're going on the back side of that orange cone that's like closer to us. That's in the middle
you know, like the Abisu jump?
Yeah,
we tried using it as that and then went into the back side of the track this way. So we jump it and then go into this corner here.
That's what I'm seeing. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was cool until it wasn't.
What happened?
Things break when you start doing that.
That's what so my thought is like where Brad's going over there with the S13 is making that smooth in like the right angle or whatever so that you can come flying down and then jump into the oval.
Oh,
jump into the oval.
That'd be
that way
sick.
You land down the
ramp,
bank, and you have a smoother landing.
You widen that out, and then you come off this.
Yep.
Go up that where that is sideways, and then catch some air into the oval.
Into the bank, yeah.
That'd be tight.
And then we could because then we could put the starting line in a different place so that you land that, and then you drift this oval, and then you hit this, hit this back, and maybe the starting line is on the Manji straight back there. That would be cool. So you start potentially back there.
I'd still do it right here and just have it shut down right after that bank.
I just want to hit this transition on that same lap. Yeah. That's why I was like, I agree 100%, but at the same time I was like, I also want to hit this transition on that same lap. So, but yeah, I think
grid
normally,
off track.
Yeah, that'd be the move. Like this is a special stage. We're jumping. Because that would be like a full lap with a jump at the end, or in the middle, or there's options.
That breaks some stuff.
What was that?
There'd be a lot of cars going home on trailers.
Yeah. And because I tried it with the IS one night, and I'm like,
there'd be some broken oil pans. You'd need a lot of oil dry on hand for that.
That's why I'm hoping that we can I'm hoping that there's get the grading right to where it is like a smooth thing.
You need a second waiver to sign for that layout.
The jump drift pass or whatever. That would be like a different level too of approval to you're a group driver. Now you're hitting the jump. It's like the next. Now you're the A jump driver type of thing. Because we got to know that your car can handle it more so than anything.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get the Ebisu fitment where the front is lifted up, to the moon because I got to hit jumps with this thing.
Yeah, super low stiff cars will not like that at all. Mm-hmm. There'd be some broken oil pans for sure.
Yeah. It'd be funner than hell though. That was always my thought of use the speed of the straightaway and run this figure out how to make this work better so that you can carry the speed and
into the oval there.
Into the oval and just hawk it. Because like I said, it worked really well when I tried it, but it needs the proper grading for it to ever be something to really, really try. So I couldn't fully commit to it either way.
So this is a picture of the last time I was on this track. My Celica Supra with a rod hanging out the side of it right over there. shooting fireworks
Yeah, I was about
off.
to say, like, is that a firework going off right there?
Yeah, it had a rod. It had a rod knock.
Might be cool to show the. Yeah, so that's a Celica from like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it had a rod knock in in practice, and then we were doing our comp runs. So we strapped a bunch of fireworks to the roof of it, lit them off, and I went and did my comp run, shucked a rod out the side of it while the fireworks going off.
Oh,
it was a good
perfect.
time, yeah.
And an additional little extra firework action right there.
Yeah, not a bad way to send that chassis off.
That's pretty sweet. And that was the end of that?
Yeah, that
like,
was,
yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
I mean, I put a new motor in it and then sold the car.
Makes sense.
So I was like, time to build something proper. Cut springs will only get you so far.
Uh-huh. It's fun. It's enough to learn.
Oh, definitely.
You know, right? But yeah, not.
It was a very difficult car to drive, but it teaches you a lot about car control.
Yeah.
Being that.
Yeah, my first car, I had the RB20 S14. I did one day in that, put a hole in the side of the block at Grissom Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Then had a 2J S13 for like another event, and then I've had the 350Z ever since then. And
I had a 1J Celica Supra that I built a couple years ago that I threw together for like a fun car that was supposed to be like to come out to events like this and stuff with. And then I bought a G8 that I was gonna build. So then I sold the Supra, and then I ended up taking the motor out of the G8.
Is that still an 80? Is that still the same generation?
Yeah.
80 Supra? Okay.
Yeah, I've had a
86.
bunch of those.
Okay.
And then I got rid of the G8 and kept the motor and built that for my Mustang.
And how do you like the Mustang?
I love that car. It's like cheat codes.
Yeah.
The first time I drove that car, I was like, "Is this what drifting's supposed to feel like?"
It just rips.
This is
It
like
feels
cheat
good.
codes. Yeah, it's like predictable.
You can
so
point shoot.
like my GTO was never really a predictable car. It was one of those cars where like you could be in power and throw a transition on it, but you're like, I don't know where it's gonna want to catch at. It might want to straighten mid transition, or it might want to spin out, or maybe it'll plant. I don't know.
This, maybe it'll that.
But that Mustang is like, I know exactly what it's gonna do and
do
when
you
it's
think
gonna do
you
it.
can get the GTO like today? Could you get a GTO to the point where it feels good without doing a bunch of?
I just hate the
pokey
rear
shit?
suspension design
Yeah.
on that car.
What
It's
is
just
it? What
awful.
is the?
It's a single trailing arm.
Single trailing arm.
Yeah, and the rear wheel bearing and wheel hubs built into the trailing arm. So like there's no way to like adjust camber effectively or even adjust toe.
Oh wow.
So yeah, you have to like cut the subframe and like slot it and move pickup points and like, and then the second it's like super flimsy on the way the design is too. So like the second anything touches it, it just wants to like fold over and bend out of alignment.
And then you're stuck doing the same
Yeah,
thing
and
again.
then it's like, I don't know, just drive around. It got to the point where I was just like, I'm going to drive around this bad alignment and all these problems.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, rather than trying to figure it out because it's like it ain't going to get figured out.
Yeah, I got the front end figured out on that car to work pretty good, but
Yeah.
it's just the rear was so iffy all the time. Did not like it.
That makes sense.
Not a fan. It was cool.
Because
the car looked cool. I
It
liked
was
the way
cool.
It looked.
That's why I was like, that's.
The car was sick.
That's why I asked.
It just
it's
drove like
you know, I'm
dog
sure that
shit.
I know that there's people that are like, man, like I can make it work. That thing is like maybe, but like.
Yeah, if you completely changed the rear subframe to
Yeah.
something better,
Yeah.
it would be ideal.
Put like a 350Z rear subframe in it or something.
It's literally anything.
Boom. That's the move.
The S550 subframe.
Yeah. There.
So I don't know. I used to hate Mustangs until I got that car and built it, and I was like,
Yeah.
still
And
hate Mustangs, but
But if it works,
still not a fan of Mustangs, but I
Yeah.
have one, so
that's kind of how I feel about 350Zs.
yeah.
Like, I never was like, oh, I really want a 350Z, but they work way too well.
Yeah, 350Zs, E46s, E36s seem to work pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
I'd say an S chassis, but they're so expensive now, it's not even worth looking into buying one.
Anything that's affordable, it's like you got to build from the ground up, anyways.
Yeah. I'd probably do an FRS before I do a
Yeah.
S chassis now
Have
because
you driven an FRS?
no, I haven't driven one.
Are so much
But I
fun.
mean, it's like
so much fun.
you get a roller for $1,000 more than an S chassis. Like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can pick up a $3,000 roller. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's good to go, low miles, whatever, but it got a blown motor. Or something
Yeah.
like
Meanwhile, people are out there asking 10 grand for their beat up S13 that's
Rusted through the
through the floor and all
Yep.
that. It's like, That's not a good starting point for a car. You don't want one that's like rusted out, or I don't care how cheap it is.
Until you know what you're doing. Like it's like there's a lot of people that they get into this, oh yeah, I got S13, because that's what you do. That's what the skid racers are. Yeah. And it's like that's fine and dandy if you know what you're getting into and you know how to do all the things. Start with something that just works, that you don't really need to think about to that degree, and enjoy that, and then build the car that you want to.
Exactly.
What is that?
Off-roading?
The one, so I'm just gonna shame him publicly. It's like he failed tech 4 times, and then started leaking water out of his shit over there, sitting on grid. His first lap out, and then now I see him go drive like he thinks it's like okay.
I mean, was it leaking something? Is that why he was driving in the dirt? To keep
no, I think he was just going back to the pits. But it's like there's
there's a road. All right, whatever.
Whatever. So, yeah, cars. It's like get a lot. Because I had somebody that's talking about, I got this Triumph I'm going to turn into a drift car. I'm like, have you ever drifted before? No. Don't even do that.
Don't start with an oddball car.
Don't start with something that's tried and true.
I'm the expert on that. Don't do it.
Seriously, it's
I have never built a drift car that I could just go buy parts for.
Other than the Mustang.
No, nobody made parts for it when I built that car.
Oh, really?
I designed everything on that car.
Really?
The whole angle kit, suspension, the rear coilover system, everything is my own design.
When did you do that?
I started on it in 2017, I think. Okay. So
that's wild to think of. Like that does make way more sense.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to build the car. WiseFab actually makes an angle kit for it now, which is cool.
I'm sure
But I have like sick. 4 spares of angle kits that I made, and mine cost me like $200 to build.
Nice.
So it's kind of like.
And it feels good?
Oh, it feels great. Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, it only took like 3 renditions of me like breaking stuff to figure out what worked.
And that's how it was. I mean, and it's kind of cool that like your mentality on it, where it's like. That's how it was. Like you had to build the shit or else you didn't have it. There wasn't parts. Like even whenever I got started, it was like I had the 350Z and it was like, okay, I made the bump, I put the tie rod spacers and I put the bump stop, I shaved down the bump stops. That's all I can do before I go WiseFab.
Yeah.
Because that was the only thing that existed at the time. There wasn't anything else. It was like you either deal with the stock stuff or you go full WiseFab. And it was just like, I mean, at least there's parts, but it's wild to see like, so thankfully it wasn't I needed to come up with something myself, but it's like we went from a generation where like I would say like when you guys started in very much the mentality of like, it doesn't exist, we have to make it.
Yeah, this is the best time ever to get into drifting.
And then to go from you can some buy things exist, off the shelf. And now it's like everything exists for every car. So if you're looking at a car that doesn't have the things,
you have to engineer it. You have to design it. But
you are
the new R&D. You are the R&D department for it.
And there's so few cars that are even fall into that category that people even use because because otherwise they would use it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no aftermarket. Why would I use that car?
Yeah. So like I make all my own suspension parts. Nobody even LS swapped one of those before I did. So like that was the first S550 LS swap. So I had to make all my own LS swap mounts and trans mounts, drive shaft, all that stuff.
And are you just doing this all for yourself? Of like, hey, I'm just doing this to get my car going, or do you like?
I had no intentions of like building any of this stuff for people. I did that with my GTO, and it becomes a headache after a while. I don't like dealing with people and selling stuff. Because the first time somebody crashes and breaks something that you sold them, then it's like, I'm not a company, I'm one person. I cannot afford to keep replacing stuff that you're breaking. So when I started doing the Mustang stuff, I was like, I'm just gonna make this stuff for me.
Cool.
That's it. Luckily, there's companies out there that make stuff for them now, so.
And that makes sense. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of the best reason to want to develop a car, right? Is that you're like, I'm doing it for myself. I'm out here to have a good time. Like, I'll make it work eventually.
Yeah, I mean, if I have the ability to make the stuff and design the stuff myself, and I'm cheap, so I don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend $2 grand on an angle kit when I can build it myself for 20 hours of my time and $200.
Yeah. And you get that satisfaction.
Yeah, you do have the satisfaction of it.
And
a lot of the times when building stuff, you're learning new skill sets along the way while you're building it.
Yep.
Like I didn't know how to do like CAD design or any of that before I started building my car.
Are you doing it like SolidWorks? Or are you doing it?
I do some stuff in Fusion 360 and Shaper 3D are two of the CAD softwares I use for designing stuff. But I even use that like the CAD stuff to make little things for my car. Like, oh, I need a new helmet hook. Oh, I'll just draw one up in CAD real quick, 3D print it, and there you go. I got a new helmet hook. Oh, I need a keypad mount for my car. Oh, I need a shifter enclosure or something.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about being into this now is like the number of I also do a lot of random things that I'm like, oh, I need something for this. Oh, I'll just CAD it up and 3D print it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have that. That is a tool that didn't exist until a couple of years ago to like good consumer level 3D printers.
Yeah.
That you can be like, yeah, I can just make stuff.
I can just make this and it'll be done in 5 hours.
And then how do you do your metal work? Do you have like a water jet? Do you have...
I hand cut everything right now. I'd like to get a CNC plasma table, but
what do you use for hand cutting? Angle grinder?
Yes. Bandsaw.
Bandsaw? Vertical,
bandsaw,
horizontal?
drill press. It's a portaband. You know what portaband is? Like the little tiny mini bandsaws. They're like this big.
And it's just like the thing in the middle you can battery power, right?
Yeah. I just mounted one of those on a table I built, and I just used that.
Gotcha.
Tiny little bandsaw. Use that. I cut all my own my bushings on my lathe. I just have a little mini lathe I cut all my bushings with.
Really? What do you use for bushing material?
Aluminum.
Aluminum. So you just cut aluminum bushings on a mini lathe?
Cut aluminum bushings on a mini lathe.
Subframe, differential, all the arms.
I mean,
like that kind of
bushings? Control arm bushings and stuff like that. Yeah, little things.
And it's all solid spherical stuff? Or?
Yeah. Yep.
And solid spherical stuff is great because it feels great. You guys do the best feeling. But if you're somebody at home that does that, where like, oh, I'm gonna put race bushings on everything, and then you go drive your car and you're like, oh, I want to shoot myself.
You got to check jam nuts all the time too.
Yeah.
And when you go over to spherical bearing stuff on suspension, you have to keep an eye on your jam nuts because they will come loose all the time.
And then as soon as a jam nut or something like that comes loose, not only can you lose your settings,
you
lose that tension on that threaded joint, and it'll snap.
Yep.
It's like it becomes a very weak point that didn't exist before.
Yeah. So it's one thing a lot of people don't pay attention to when they go over to like aftermarket arms and stuff like that is nut and bolting cars is a necessity at that point.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
And it's almost like after every day. Like
yep.
It's too many vibrations.
Yeah, I'll see street cars come into our shop to get stuff like that put on sometimes. I'm like, man, this is not the move for a street car.
Poly.
Like, yeah, poly.
Put poly on. It's gonna be way better than stock rubber, and it's gonna be a little louder, but you're not gonna hate it.
Yeah, like, some companies even make spherical bearing replacements for OE bushings. Like they're almost like an OEM spherical bearing style. I know BMW uses them on their stuff. But those are good for like, they give you that bearing feel, but you don't have to change your arms out to something like an adjustable arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just upgrade the bushing.
If you just want something that feels a little bit tighter.
Yeah. And so, and for some cars, like I know, like going back to, because I know 350Z, is like you change out the compression rod bushing because that thing gets blown out from the factory because it has so much force that's put into it. And I think the same applies for BMW, is just different style of bushing, but it's the same idea. Where you change that out, where you can have a stock arm, and that's perfectly fine. But if you don't change that out, your steering like shifts while you're moving because the lower control arm is doing this. It's jackhammering basically.
And you don't need to replace every arm on your car to make it work.
Nope.
Like I have stock lower control arms in the back of my car.
Yeah.
Why? Because I didn't need to change them.
If you can get the alignment setting the
alignment setting I needed was fine. It was right within spec. I'm not going to change them out with something that doesn't need to be changed out just to do it.
And it's also like not as good in a lot of ways. The aftermarket parts aren't as good.
I probably would have broken a couple aftermarket lower arms by now if I would have had something like tubular with Heim joints under there.
Yep, exactly.
But just a stock lower arm with the upgraded bearings in the stock arms, they work fine.
Mm-hmm. And they hold up. They're designed to do what they do.
I don't have to worry about any jam nuts on it.
Yeah.
I just got to check the tow rods.
Yeah, it's one less thing on a laundry list of items that you have to deal with all the time.
Yeah, and they're cheap too. If I need to get a replacement one, they're cheap.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I tell people, like, it's like get the arms you need. The arms you need to get the alignment that you
Yeah, toe arms, upper camber arms, usually something like that.
Yep.
Depends on the car.
car.
Depending on the car, it'll depend on what you need to make it work. But
Yeah. And like a 350Z, for instance, like, oh, I'm going to put true coils on it, so I may as well do the tow rod and the camber arm.
Yeah.
The tow rod and camber arm, you can do all the alignment that you need to do. You can dump the thing on its nuts, and you're going to get it right.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the factory stuff just doesn't, as you know, especially with lowering cars down, the factory stuff just doesn't have the adjustment that you need. You know, it's a sphere, it's a offset bolt rather than a actual Heimer or some other tie rod type of thing.
Yeah, and when doing alignments, like on the front of cars, you want to be careful where you align your camber from, where you're adjusting your camber from.
As far as which setting you're using to change your camber?
So whether you're changing your camber from your strut top or you're adjusting it from your lower control arm, or some cars allow you to adjust camber directly on the spindle.
Yep. Yeah, right at where the coilover mounts.
Yeah, and
McPherson strut cars.
Yeah, and like a McPherson strut car will change how much camber gain or loss you get as you're scrubbing through your steering.
Yep, because it can modify, like especially when you can adjust it at the knuckle, it can change your kingpin inclination angle. I think some. I think that's the variable that gets changed when you adjust the camber down there.
The biggest one that I've noticed is when you adjust camber through the coilover plates, the coilover plates, you'll notice a big change in like your camber gain as you're turning. So you'll have a wheel that might fold over really hard.
Do you have a preference?
You can adjust that out with caster, and
Yeah. Do you have a preference on where would you start if you're trying to get a car's camber set right? Where would you start?
I would start by calling the guys at Perfect Balance and having them do my car, because that's what I do.
That's Darius, right?
Darius and Jelani, yeah. Yeah, I would let those guys do my alignment, because they're wizards and they know what they're doing, and I've never seen them set up a car that didn't work.
Yeah,
so.
That was actually, I took my S14 over there. Once I did the refresh of the stuff so that it could just work, I was like, I'm gonna show up to the track, it's gonna be the way it's supposed to be. And they were great, but it was fun because it was like working with Darius and being like, this is what the application for the car is, this is what I think the settings that'll work, and it should work out really well. And like obviously they're in line with normal S chassis settings as far as like 1/8 inch toe out in the front, but I did a little bit more towing in the rear because of what it's for. Adjusted the trailing arm or whatever it is that to reduce the camber gain and toe gain over its.
As it's going through the suspension travel.
Yeah. So I kind of made some edits on that to make it so that it would be like, all right, this should feel really, really good, and it felt perfect.
Yeah.
Especially with the 12K springs in the front, it was like, this is exactly what the car should have felt like. Yep. And it's so good.
Those guys are really good at getting cars set up. Yep. And if you're fighting any type of alignment or suspension issues, I'd recommend sending them a message and trying to get an appointment with those guys, because they know what they're doing.
What is it? Are they on Facebook, Instagram? What's the?
Yeah, I think they're on Facebook and Instagram. It's Perfect Balance.
Perfect Balance on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And Darius is going to be your.
Darius and Jelani will be there too usually.
And they'll be there to hook you up. You basically show up at their shop. They put you up on a lift. They'll get everything sorted out and adjusted and everything like that.
For enough money, they'll come to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he brings all of his equipment. He has a full like string setup and everything like that. Got scales, everything. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars.
Corner balancing and everything. Yeah.
Thousands of dollars of equipment that you would need to do this otherwise. And these guys are drifters. They're working around FD cars all the time.
They both work for FD teams.
FD. They're at the track all season long.
Yep.
For years. I mean. God, what?
They set up Corey Talaska's car, and he won Pro Spec at the last round.
Not a big deal, and they're local drifters. Like these are guys that are here that are like, oh yeah, the person who won the pro thing, the Pro Spec, but we're nonetheless still like it's the pro thing. They were at the track. They were Atlanta? Was that where they were?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Was that the most recent one? Was Atlanta or was that America?
Yeah. I think so.
So yeah, they were down there for that.
No, Florida was it Miami? Orlando. Orlando was like a week or two ago. Okay. It was before that, I think. But
so
they had the Pro Spec round at.
Find one that's good. Talk to them. Get their parts set up. Get their setup things. Get their lessons learned. Because everyone's happy to share it. They want to teach people. They want to bring people into this.
That is one cool thing about like drifting nowadays, though, is you see so many different cars at the track. Like I remember probably 7, 8 years ago, all you would see are like S chassis and 350Zs.
Yep.
You might see the occasional like SC300, but like that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, IS300 maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Same idea.
And now you just see like BMWs are exploding.
Mustangs.
Yeah.
Mustangs and Mustangs. For sure.
I hate Mustangs so much.
Like, and the thing
Maybe it's just a solid axle thing that I don't like.
Well, it's also one of the things
I blame Steve's speed. I drove Steve's Mustang and I was like, this is the worst drift car. This is the worst car I've ever driven in my life.
The rear end makes me like throw it in the trash.
I was like, I don't know what kind of wizardry you're doing to actually link tracks in this thing, but it's teaching you bad habits. I know that.
And that's the case. Like you can't commit to it. All you know is you can't commit. And like if there's one thing you need to learn doing this is that like you have to commit. And so like
this E46 seems to be working pretty good though. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's right. It's so wild like to have that conversation with him of like, what car are you showing up with?
Yeah.
Like what run group are you in? Well, it depends on the car. But like, cause he's out here with the E46, tearing it up all the time, and it's like, dude, just keep ripping.
Just drive that.
Yeah. Like it's too good. It's way too good. And it's the best car. It's like E46s are one of the best cars to be doing this in. You know, you got cheap, affordable performance.
Yeah. And like a cookbook of how to put one together too.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I go on the SLR website.
Yeah.
I hit order or I walk away and I'm like, I know
select
it's gonna be
all, buy.
Yep, it's gonna be the best thing you could ask for.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, all right, I put coilovers, welded the diff, and put a CNC, I don't know what the move is for the cheap knuckle, but I know a lot of people do the CNC 71. You do
the little bolt-on adapter thing?
Yeah, a little bolt-on adapter thing, and you're like, all right, cool, I can go tear it up with anybody in this thing.
Yeah.
I got all the angle, the car feels great, reinforced the subframe so it doesn't rip out.
Stock horsepower, I mean, they're good.
And you don't go through any laps. Like that's, you know, we talked a little bit about the cost thing earlier, but it's like, you know, you come out here with an E46 that's stock, you can do a million laps in it and you go through a pair of tires. Yeah. You know, and you're going from, okay, I spent $150 on tires.
Speaking of tires lasting, I was blown away by how long tires lasted at Owasso.
It's insane.
Brendan and I both showed up out there with our, 800 horsepower cars, and we each went through like 2 tires.
That's insane.
All day.
And you weren't pussy putting.
No, we were full tilt out on the cars, just beating on them. And
like, how you drive them.
I was like, dude, how do these tires last so long?
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
We showed up there on test day, and we're like, oh my God, this place is destroying tires. Granted, fresh concrete. You know, the stuff that they're doing at Owasso is huge. You know, massive additions. It's really, really cool to be like the drift group that's there, right?
Yeah.
To be able to put on a good show with the driver base that we have here is amazing. But to show up and be like, we did a test day, and we're like, oh my God, this place is destroying tires. Warning. So when people
was
come,
it on test day?
Yeah, that's why. Whenever we went on test day, it was
really.
But it's like I'm thinking like it's all fresh concrete, so all of like the rough edges, I'm sure that was just eating tires up. So once you
knock the dust off of it.
Yeah, knock the edges off. So once we got 100 people out there, that's also awesome about Owasso is you can run hella people.
Oh yeah.
And just like 100 people wasn't enough.
Go.
We needed 120 people because it was like getting like. All right, well, people gotta wait, because their cars are too hot, because we're running it too rapid. It's insane. And it's like, as long as we can keep it running, like 120 people would you get 100 laps.
Have you guys thought about going to Auto City at all?
Definitely. So, so my finish the thought on the Owasso is I think once the 100 everybody got out there, broke down all the edges and laid in some rubber, like that track felt so good at the end. I get to drive it till the end of the day. And I got to drive Rob's McCarter's Corvette, as well as Steve's Mustang that same day. I was like, oh.
My condolences.
So I got the same experience as you with that thing. I was like, oh my God, let's not do this. But I drove Rob's Corvette, especially, and it was like, wow, this track feels like a whole new track. Like all the rubber, same with the pier. Once all that rubber's been laid down, the wear dropped down, the consistency went up, and it just feels great. So that's what I think happened, which is really cool. But yeah, I really want to go to Auto City. Actually, I spoke with Joe, so Joe owns Auto City. So I spoke with the owner, just for anyone watching. I spoke with the owner back in November or October, maybe even late, maybe January. You know, it was early this year.
Right.
You know, spoke with him in this off season. Oh, nice. Mike just actually hooked in a sweet entry with his S15 for the first. I think that was the first like sweet entry that he just got that car. He just drove just picked it up like earlier this week or last week.
Nice.
So to see him out here with it and just being like, all right, cool, I want to take it for some laps.
Having some fun.
Pretty fucking cool. But I really want to go back to Auto City. I learned at Auto City. I love Auto City. Finding room in our schedule with the staff load and stuff like that is tough. I think it's going to be feasible next year. I think that we're learning how to use the resources that we do have in the community, and I think it'd be really, really cool to do like a DMVM shootout type of or throwdown or whatever. So like Craig Mearns has been in this for, I don't know,
Got to get
years.
as many OGs out as you can.
Right? And so like
somebody called JWoo and
yep.
Chico, Derek Lozano, get him out. All the old school Project A-Spec dudes.
How cool would that be? You know, it's like, and I've had 2 Project A-Spec cars, and the one went back to Rob, which is dope, and I don't know what happened with the blue S14 that I had. So it's like I'm amped about this, because like this is like my nostalgia that's kicking in. But I really would love to have like a DMVM throwdown or something, like, you know, and do that at Auto City. Like, what better place than to do it at Auto City? Yeah. You know,
it is a fun track.
And I talked to Joe. When I talked to Joe, I mentioned like, man, I have the passion for the place. I want to be there in a lot of ways. It's hard to fit it in our schedule with, you know, the amount of people that it takes to do. But we have a community that we can lean on, and that we can be like, hey guys, do you want to come help run a drift event? Because like, why not? And then from there, he said he's super down to do additions. So the infield. I already did all the layout. I'm like, dude, we had like 2,000 square feet of concrete, not concrete, of asphalt down there. Well, nice, dope tandems on the infield. Yeah. And that's all it needs to be an awesome track. Like, if we can
just like widen up the exhibit, or
just so you can go swoop where you want to swoop. You know, where everyone drops.
Move the 4,000-pound tractor tire.
Move the 4,000 pound, because it's like, hey, where this is the line. Yeah. We're not worried about that happening anymore. Where before it's like, right now it's like you're making do with what you have. Yeah. And it's fine for solos, but when you start stacking people up in there, like, you can't do it. I mean, you can, but you can't do a good 3-car tandem in there.
Oh, no.
And it's tough to even do a solid 2-car.
You can get some pile-ups in there if you start running trains really quickly.
Yeah. So we had a little bit here, just like we did here. We had a little bit here, a little bit there. Now it's nice and smooth, and now you're stacking. Yeah. And now we're partying. And now we start playing with like, okay, well, now we can have two people, like kind of like we're doing with C Group. We have 2 people, we can get double the laps because we had 2 people on track at the same time. Gotcha. Make it work nicely. So I don't think that that's necessary by any means, but it's good to know, like, it's like I've already been talking to them. The opportunities are there. It's literally a matter of executing. And I think that, like, if it's one of those things where we can put the money into adding the additions and then come and do an event, do 2 events there or something like that next year, is like, you know, because we don't need to be at Auto City every month, right? But do 2 events.
Maybe
there,
1 or 2 events a year. Yeah.
I think it'd be super fun. Like, it's a great track. It's a different set of skills.
It's a nostalgic track for
Very
Michigan.
Nostalgic.
For sure.
And like, I think like that's what I would like to see. That's what I want to happen. Is I want to add a little bit, make it dope, do an event. And at a minimum, I'd like to just do an event.
I think it's a good. It'd be a good like level 2 like training track too for like guys that have graduated past what they can do here. Yep. Going there, you get some bank, like actual bank experience. I mean, I know you got a bank here, but
it ain't like that. It ain't Auto City. That's like little bank at Auto City. Almost. Yeah. Little different. It's a little bit longer.
This is way smaller than the little bank at Auto City. Just like steep.
Oh yeah, the steepness. Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you don't have
that
to jump.
degree on the banks there. It'll teach you a thing or two about driving a bank.
Especially the normal, like the medium bank down there at the other end, where it's like this. Yep. And like you go over the top and you are just.
I've done it.
Yep. Yep. I've seen it a lot of times. I've gone like over the top and like skated the edge. Like, it was like one of those like and then skate the edge sort of thing rather than like bloop. But I've seen people bloop over the top.
Yeah, I've full blown like dropped the tire over and went, yep, I'm just gonna start pointing my front end towards the downside of this hill.
Not at the wall though.
Yeah, just drive out of it the best you can.
But yeah, I think it'd be really like I like Auto City. It's a great track. It's super fun. And so we may, but like yes, but just figuring out how to do that and fit it in. I mean, that's been tough. That's been tough with even this. Every waking moment is occupied by work and work. So I'm hoping that over the next, especially next year, but over the next month or two, I'll kind of rein myself in a little bit and be able to dedicate like, all right, now I can think about the next step rather than working through this step right now.
Yeah.
Because I do want to do that. And same with Flat Rock. Flat Rock's another one. They did the repave. They repaved the track there, and apparently it's like way better. Because I know it was really rough on tires before, and it was really slippery. So I think now it's got more grip and it's better on tires. And like that's nice because it has a big open infield to go into.
Oh yeah, at Flat Rock. I haven't been there in a minute, but last time I was there, I was in my RX-7, I think. Not a good car.
Yeah.
I've made my fair share of bad choices on vehicles, so.
I don't think I can make it work, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
that's a lot of people, I had somebody recently that was talking about, oh, there's this RX-7 or whatever. It's like cheap. It's like, yeah, but not for this. Like,
also going from driving like the biggest drift car you can ever build, my GTO, to an FCRX-7 is just the way you sit in the car and the feeling of transitioning and everything is like, it was just so hard to get used to.
It is wild how big of a difference the experience can be between different cars.
Yeah.
Like it's like the whole driving experience.
The wheelbase and where you're sitting in the car.
Yep.
The way it transitions.
Where it rotates.
I would transition the RX-7 at like the same speed of how it felt like I was transitioning my GTO, and they're like, you're snapping that car way too fast. I'm like, but my GTO felt slow when I would do that. They're like, yeah, but your GTO was 800 feet long when you were transitioning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
This RX-7 is like, so yeah,
you gotta change your whole driving style because you have a different car.
I hated it. I didn't like it at all. But I'm gonna get out of here.
Sweet.
I got
Well, I mean, so just to do like a quick little sign off is like, thank you for coming over here and talking.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a bunch of cool world knowledge nuggets in there and stuff like that. I think it's like, I don't know, this is one of those, like, we were kind of looking at this time as this is a good time for people to kind of just like, oh, here's somebody I can learn about. This is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys ever want me to come out to one of the clinics and lend a hand with any of that stuff,
absolutely love that. I mean, that's like, we kind of make the opportunity available for A-group drivers that it's like, hey, if you want to come out and help out, these guys are going to learn. Like, if you really wanted to be the MVP, that E36 that I was just seeing doing this down the straightaway every time they went into end, and if you were like, said, hey man, here's a couple of tips, man, I bet you he would be shredding in no time. But it's nice having experienced drivers out here to teach people like, hey, I know the word that you need to hear right now. So would love to have you out here.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome. Thank you very much.
Good talking to you. And I will see you guys later. What?
Thanks for being on
Is this
the show.
for me?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
A little vlog action, cool.
All right. What's up? It's your boy. No, I'm just kidding. Here, you can take this back.
What's up, YouTube?
Oh, yeah, actually, you need
What's
this.
up, YouTube? Like, subscribe.
I'm going to take off with your mic.
Good catch. There you go, dude. Thank you, dude.
All right, I'll see you guys in a bit.
See you, Shane.
See you, man. Okay, now you can hear me now. All right. Trying to start this live stream. Having trouble waiting for Ray. Gotta improvise. So right now, that's what we got. What's up, DJ?
power. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I got my Brooklyn dried mangoes, baby, and reverse osmosis water. I'm fully ready for this now. This is insanity. I don't even know. Wow. Yeah. So we're going on this one, right? Let's do it like this. Guys. Judging people for the entry cost as well. This dude he was riding that whole top line. Yes! Like a stand? Don't remember. He was riding that whole top line up there. It looked so cool. So, now we're cutting back to the action. A group is out there right now. A group are out there right now. We got long course going. They're running down. Big entry cost is going on right now. They've been out there for about a half hour, getting their practice in. And then now, they're just still doing the same thing. It doesn't make any difference, but they're throwing the biggest entries that we're and right now I got a message from Travis over here in the orange Z. Apparently is looking like he's on it. So top contender right there, at this moment. But they're gonna keep throwing big entries down there. I'm gonna do my best to relay that to you as far as what cool little things that the judges and stuff like that notice. But I think we got a good angle to catch dope entries, and we'll go up and get set up. Way too cool. I don't even want to count, like this is wild. Can I fold this up so I can see? We're just making a little modification down here. Leave it up in the background. No, I was going to say leave it up so that we can fold it back down. It'll be in the background of pictures and stuff. Get it on the back side of this. There you go. We're just there. You don't need to roll it, just slide it in. Slide it in. Yeah, there you go. There we go. All right, perfect. That way we can just pull it back down. Wow. Can I? One more variable. I can't see through here. Take care. Yeah, I got one more thing I gotta move. I got one more thing. Hopefully everybody watching this, we're just moving, can you help me move this a little bit? I can't see anything. So Josh is in the zone. I'm gonna put a gate in front of him. Our drone pilot. He's in the zone pilot, baby. All right, now we can see. Now we're good. Yeah. I think I already am. Oh, that's me. Hey guys. Hey guys, how's it going? So we're back at our spot. God, I love this. I love this mode. This is like literally what Matsuri is all about. It's non-stop calamity, man. I'm gonna keep all the stuff. It is way too good. I don't know if you can set me with a picture-in-picture with what's going on track, but like everybody needs to be seeing this. Yeah, that's a great angle. Yes, this angle is so cool. This shows you guys exactly what you're looking at out here. It's just non-stop ridiculousness. Million laps, shredders. this is why we have A and B group right here. With A and B group out there, we can run this thing hot. People can just crank laps. They gotta pull off to the side, cool down a little bit, crank lap. Pull off to the side, cool down a little bit, crank lap. Big entries, just like cool cars, like big power, turbos. A lot of guys out here that are like, yo, here's some more approved drivers out here for WFD. We need some more people at Ginger. This is the party that we want to bring everywhere. It's so cool. Holy crap. So yeah, so they're running entries. We got, all right. I can't even, like, I'm ADHD, and this is what it feels like. Yeah. Woo. It's just like tandem after tandem after tandem. How can you not want to watch this? It's so cool. Yeah, can you put me in big, like this view is awesome. Okay, that is so cool. So, yeah, you just get to see, like, it's just a constant stream. So, all right, welcome back. This is Jackson Matsuri, June 14th and 15th here. Conditions are primo. You know, weather's been golden. Sparky, hold up, Sparky, hold up. Oh, never mind, you're good. Sorry, Sparky, you're good. There was like 6 cars that were stopped down there. Oh yeah, we got a big spin on entry. He's rolling again. Sweet. This is so cool. They cleared up really quickly, and they're getting back to it. Clear. It's almost like nice to have a little bit of a second to just be like, whoa, let's breathe a little bit. Back to the party, you know. Back to the party. So, anyways, welcome back. Anybody who is watching this is in for an absolute treat. We are at the point where it is 45 minutes into this long session. We're gonna do a half hour of dope entries. Very cool. So Travis has. Woo! That was sick. Hold up. Travis is a top contender right now. We've got 4 judges down there that are watching every single car that comes by, and they're looking for what excites them. Big, backwards, tandem, insanity entries. It looks like we got mechanical entry. Big, backwards, flowy, in tandem. The wildest entries that they see, that's what's going to get the win tonight. And these guys are mostly doing them for their custom deploy. We got a little prize package, you know, to try and to bring them. But wow, everyone's out here partying. Like, it's not nobody's going over the limit. They're just partying, and so they're running. I want to try. So we've got down there on entry watching. We got Tyler, Chad Anderson, Shane Whalley, who was on here earlier for that little interview and stuff like that. That was really cool. Have him as a good guest speaker. And then Miles, other son, I don't know, mozzarella sticks. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so Tyler, Chad, Miles, and Shane are down there watching to see who impresses them the most. Who throws the sickest gnarliest entry in this 45-minute window, which is a huge window. Just put on a show. This is a show. This is so cool. Entry. And people are pushing it. People are getting saucy. But there's like just good stuff happening constantly. I know that people, you can see the excitement. Uh-oh. All right, we're going again. I know it does suck when you come in here full tilt. You're like, oh, I'm gassing. This is a sick run. Feel like a G35? Yes! Nice entry. Little shallow. Whoa, okay, it looks like we got an update from the judges. So Travis is killing it, but where's Benji? What's his run? What's Benji's run? And that's 13. So Benji Schultz is the other leading contender right now. So we got Travis who's back in the pits. He's got that orange 350Z. And then Benji Schultz is out here somewhere. I don't know what car he's driving today. But also throwing it, absolutely throwing it down. Getting that moving back right now. I think this is. Looks like he might not be on track right now. So that's the thing is, running this long course, the cars get hot. Wow. Nice. Red is, Brett Michalik, right? He's it's been really cool seeing him come along. Yeah, we're following along with Brett right now, actually. He's putting it out. Big wing, big wide body, paint, carbon hood. Oh, yeah, that was such a cool transition into that G's. Oh man, good job, Josh. But they are absolutely killing it. Oh, that's Ben flying. Cool. I like this. Oh, there. So there's a bump there that's so much fun. It scrapes and then you enter afterwards. Woo! All right, let's see where we're going now. Oh, nice, quick transition, chasing him. He's been messed up this last couple entries, but this 350Z, he's trying some stuff. Full sauce, all the way to the edge of the track. Engine could have got a little more speed there, but woo! There's a little Monty. Wow. Okay, so apparently I didn't see this. It's probably if you go on a little bit. Travis apparently was following Damien in the red C6 Mustang. So Travis in the orange 250Z following Damien in the red C6 Mustang. Apparently threw a big vacuum behind him, and it was sick. So judges are loving it. That's what they love to see. A lot of people are putting down what we want to see. There's a nice haze forming down there. Oh man, this is so cool. Nice haze of smoke, nothing too crazy. Woo! Let's see here. That was a big one from the G. Oh, nice entry from the Mustang too. Very, very cool. So he swings back around into him. I love the way they've been doing this. He's just like going wherever. Tucked into the next one. We need the light on and off. I need somebody down there to turn it. I'm gonna message Ben. I'm gonna get some lights on. We got a little bit jumpy on this one. We didn't take time to turn on all the lights. Which we'll need for this last hour for sure. It's just not gonna be safe out there. And I think we also need the lights out on track too. Oh my God. Let's see if I can call him up. Hey, can you mute me? Can you mute me? Sorry about that. I had to take a little bit of a second to go turn on the lights so everyone can see. We got about 20 minutes left of this jam session right now. That being said, we still have an hour left of driving right now. So we got 20 more minutes left on this judge jam session. And to find a winner for this. We got one more. I think Ben's got one more. We got one more light to be turned on. It's getting on. It'll help light up that entry a little bit better. We got all the lights out on the oval. We got all the lights out on the road course. So this is cool. So now that it's transitioned to darkness, I tell you, driving out here. So Benji's out here leading T. He's been throwing on some killer entries. That's another lead contender. Woo! Benny in that Nardo Gray 350Z is another big contender. Love seeing the drivers get hype out here. There we go. Wow. Okay. Back to it. Wow. Nice. Dude, people are doing really good out here, man. This is very, very cool. Very cool. Woo! Dude, Travis and Jamie, man, they are putting it down out there, bro. I am just amazed. Hey, John, I had to go turn on the lights. I forgot to say something.
I'm trying to go to sleep. Did you shut this fucker down?
Yeah, we'll shut it down here for you in a minute. Yeah, I'll tell them all we gotta go home. I know. How cool is this? So I'm for anybody here. Hold up, I will do this. So that you guys are aware. So I'm sitting over here, Mr. John LaFear himself. You know, the owner of Jackson Speedway here.
How you doing, everybody?
Hey guys. And
welcome to Jackson Speedway.
So I just wanted to show you guys who this is the man that lets us come play and really lets us put on this amazing show. He had to come out here and check it out a little bit more for himself.
Ray introduced me to drifting 3 years ago. Now I know how to spell it.
It's spelled like tandem. That's how you spell it. How cool is that? Crazy. It's amazing. This is so cool. Wow. Okay. This is what I was hoping for, man. Like, Matsuri means festival. Is festival in Japanese. Matsuri at Ebisu is a festival, is a party. Some of the best drivers from around the world come and gather. And gather at Ebisu, which is Drift Heaven, the home of drifting. Basically, it's got 6 tracks, I think, in a big complex, all sorts of drifting. And Matsuri weekend, people flying from all around the world. We're talking, including myself. I got my Laurel over there, right? To come and just party at this facility 3 times a year, spring, summer, fall, and it's insane. And while we can't quite do that here, at the end of the day, though, something that's really, really cool is Nishi short laps. We're talking like 15 car tandem trains, you know, at these tracks. We're talking 50 people, 100 people on track, just ripping laps on Nishi short like it's their job. That's the party, and that's at the end of the end of the day. Everyone knows to go to Nishi short, and we're gonna do crazy laps, and it's gonna be sick. If you've seen 15, 20 cars tandems of people coming over a hill in Japan type of deal, that's where they're at. And while it's not, you know, this ain't Japan, but this feels like Nishi at the end. You know, just being out there jamming with your boys, with just everybody that's just here to party, bros and girls just ripping it. This is what this feels like. So I'm kind of stoked about this. Like, I'm trying to figure out multiple things right now. It's not great. And this really is this is really what I want people to experience, because this is what it's about, man. And like we could slow it down a little bit. Imagine a whole day where you can just jam laps with the homies, like. Dude, I don't know if I can. Is this a live feed from me? Is this the HDMI cable? Is this the HDMI cable? It's USB-C. Is it transmitting data, or is that being done over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? Data as well. Okay. Okay. No. I was gonna show them what's going on right here, but I didn't want to like detach it. Oh yeah. All right. Is it just lit? So lit. All right. Cool. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Another one. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got a couple of. We got Mike in his S15. Excited to see that out. He's coming around here. Got the JDMs on lock. Let's see, is that Brandon? An R32 over there? This is what we like to see. Can you close the gap? Because that was woo! Bro. Here we go. Nice. See your T's coming around on the main. He always puts it down. Thing is sick. These guys have been shredded. Nice. Right up to the edge of the track. Dude, I don't know why I can't remember names sometimes, but dude in the green 350Z, he's getting locked in, bro. Like, yeah. And another one. Let's see if we can get you a little closer to this. It's still in range, right? I think we're still in range. Little bobble. Dang, Sparky over there on grid is absolutely shredding it, just sending them. Yes, here we go. All right. It's a green Z and purple Z. They're going into the bank right now. They have been killing it together. They're getting locked in. Woo! Nice. so hot. And I think everybody's car's on. Wow, look at that squad. Just ending their laps, like one big dump. Oh, here we go. Woo! Nice early entry. Oh, Travis is having a good time. Way too cool. This is way too cool. Another little angle. Nice entry. So they're coming around this bank, hauling, building speed all the way down to the straightaway. And they're trying to make it between those two cones. And as fast as possible. They're trying to make it somewhere around there and hold it wide. Good, wow. So that is so cool. Like, I think that everybody who is here right now is like, oh, that's what a party is. That's what we're talking about. Wow. Good driving out there, everybody. We still got almost an hour of this. I think that if Sparky keeps up this pace, everybody's gonna die. And I don't want everybody to die. I don't know what my radio is. I just had it. Benji is hawking it, all right. I was just texting Tyler to let him know that Sparky can slow it down a little bit. Like, he's gonna keep this grid clear. You know, people are. That's what's gonna happen. That one? What was that? Oh no. I was just hitting it because I saw the drone landing. Yeah, I don't know what I just did with my radio though. He's clearing out the whole track. No way, this is about to happen. Is he gonna? Wow. It's like a machine gun. You know, he just like loads it up and then just car. People have been holding it together. Oh, cool. That's a cool angle. Because you get it as they come ripping it down. I love seeing it like from above like this. It really shows where I need to add, we need lights though. Can you go back to that view real quick? Can you go back to that view? I'm trying to like let people know about things. This screen? Oh, it just makes it so much better. We got like a little screen here so I can see everything that you guys are seeing. And I know it's dope. And I can comment on it. I'm just sending a note to Ben because So I was just noticing that with that cool thing about that overhead view, so we got the track lights, and then we rented a couple of lights to kind of improve things, to give it a little, give some better lighting, right? And I was just sending over some notes to be like, hey, we can put one over here, and that would help. Oh, I think that there's... so I was just sending over some stuff to Ben over at A1 Rentals. Always coming in clutch. I was just sending some stuff over him so that he knew that, like, hey, we can probably move these lights around and get better lighting, because now we have the perspective to be able to figure that out. All right, so we got 3 more minutes. Sorry for the distracting. Lots of stuff happening. Absolute insanity out on track is way too cool. Woo! So we got a couple minutes left of this session. I think that we might have a winner. We might have a winner. I mean, I know it's close between. Sounds like Benji and Travis. Oh man. When you're jamming it, you're like, oh, that was it. I was feeling it. I know that feeling. Bro, I want to be out there ripping it. It's just like, it's so cool to see, like, there's so many people with, like, these are a lot of really well set up cars, a lot of drivers that we've seen progress over time that have been insane and that already came in with big hitters to begin with. It's really cool seeing when all that comes together, and this is what you get. We're gonna be back here next month. We got a clinic on July 12th where this is what we are trying to do. We're trying to teach you guys how to do this. But then when we come back the following weekend, on July 19th, July 19th is gonna be lit. Weekend of Michigan drifting. We're gonna go Gingerman, Jackson, Owasso, and best drivers around. Some of these guys out here will be up. There's definitely some people that are getting a WMD invite, to say the least. And for the 3-day, because there are so many like people that are just ready to shred, and that's what we want to see. Oh, a bit of an off down there, not too bad though. All right, let's get down to we might have the last couple runs. I think that the judges probably have a winner, but I'm not fully sure. And we'll find out later, though. It's going to be out in the live stream. We'll make a post. I think I'm the only audio on this or something like that, but I hope you guys can hear the squealing and the revving in the background. Nice! Is that Ant? Dude, he's doing it, man. Wow, look at all that tire smoke and a cloud of dust. Good job, boys. Like, everyone's shredding. I know I said that a lot, but. Do you want me to do I can do this one. How much range do I have? How much range do I have? Okay. I can walk around here at least, right?
Yeah. I was walking down over there, dude.
All the way down over there? Yeah. Can I go down to the entry?
Yeah. It's a wide, what kind of lens do you want?
This is fine.
Okay. The bike will probably cut, just past the garage.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense. Good to know. I'll just stay around over here. Give it a little different angle. Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't see that. Yes, yes, John. Oh, so Travis finally made a mistake. But that's what happens when you're pushing yourself. So he has been tearing it up, honestly. Really, really responsive, dude that's out here to just do the good stuff. And he's doing it. He's doing it. And that's just this 350. This is a testament to what you can do with a 350Z. Every time it's just like, it's such a good car. I like these Mustangs, man. They sound cool. And that's Steve in the BMW, man. I'm pretty sure it is. A little offline there, but he has been absolutely killing it with that thing today. What? Woo! Wow. Damn. Like the 350Zs, man, they are just doing the thing. Everybody's doing the thing. We got Gs, we got Zs, we got Z31s. We got G35s. Oh, G35s. Hello. Hello. All right, so Tyler just came over here. Tyler might have some news to share. I do. Tyler has some news to share. And I want to say it's good news.
Yeah. So we'll start with honorable mention.
All right, honorable mention.
Shout out Lucas McReynolds in the Hachi in the 8.6 Corolla.
Yeah.
Big commitment to the flicks, and they were super exciting to watch.
In a car that is not super happy doing it.
No,
so like for him to commit to that is big.
One of the only people, honestly, throwing really heavy, aggressive flicks.
Oh, that could have been really bad.
Yeah.
That good save, guys. Good job. Wow. And yeah, they just pulled right out of it. This is why we love kart tracks. Yeah. There's no danger. I don't even think they touched the tire.
Not much. Yeah, so Lucas, honorable mention to him.
Good job, man. That's awesome.
Nuts.
That's huge because like he just started
last year. Yeah.
And like to see him come out in that car that is yes! Is that Wyatt and
that's Wyatt, Immel, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
I don't know, they're two silver Z's, there's too many Z's.
They are shredding.
They're shredding, that was sick.
Wow, that was exciting.
Yes! Is that it?
Second place, another honorable mention, or shout out Benji Schultz.
Benji Schultz?
So the Gray Z, he was throwing insane entries.
I was calling him out when you texted me. I was letting him know, like, yo, Travis has been Benji has been on it.
Yeah.
And then here, like, there's gonna be, I mean, some people have filmed.
Yeah. Benji's were super exciting. He had a couple really big ones that didn't fully stick at the end. He had one where if he would have landed it and pulled out of it, game over.
This is, for everybody, like anybody hearing this or whatever, this is literally like a best whip contest on a dirt bike, where it's like everybody can do it, but it's just about how much you can do it and then bring it back and land it clean.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and like, you can do the sickest shit, but if you can't land it clean, it's not quite landing the trick. And we're basically trying to get you to land a trick and the coolest trick that you can land.
Oh yeah. So the winner pulled off some pretty nasty tricks.
I saw some nasty. He landed some sick tricks.
First place, gotta go Travis. The Orange Z, insane.
Insane.
He was throwing backies in front of Damien and behind him.
Over and over and over again.
Constantly, over and over and over and over.
Oh, that was so good. The lead car screwed a little bit too much, but Wyatt was in it, man.
Tyler Shady is his name.
Tyler Shady, yep.
Or Shoddy, I can't remember.
Yeah, Shady.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, he was so consistent. He's seeing the whole track. He's running the line. He's putting on like.
He threw a backy here and down there.
Done.
It was nuts.
Double points.
It was so exciting.
Like this is bonus points.
Yeah, like there were a couple where like a little bit more work, but like time after time after time. He only had to bail like once or twice off of like some like little stuff.
Stuff happens. It's tough when you're pushing your limits like this.
He had a lot of really good a lot of good track etiquette as well, but like the biggest thing was like his entries were insane. He did the one specifically, the one that stuck out was when he was leading Damien. And they were jamming hard. And he threw this big nasty entry super wide through the whole corner into the additions with a great transition out. Both, yeah.
Yes.
Two tires in both additions. Big sweep. All four of us were screaming.
Like literally what the track is built for down there. If you're gonna huck it and you're gonna huck it big, that's what it looks like.
Travis has really done his homework on how to run this track. He drives a lot.
Material.
Yeah.
Everyone that can like look at this has great steady material. What looks good.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was super exciting to watch.
Yeah. I was getting so I was getting so pumped over here. I was taking him out. I was taking him over there. Like we were taking. That was so cool. It's almost actually really nice to have like a little bit of a second right now of like ADHD through the moon. I'm like whoa.
It's definitely hard to concentrate right here with everything going on behind you.
And they were filling this so good. They didn't touch these cones.
I haven't seen anything. No dirt
they were
clouds.
going to the edge of the track right here, and they didn't touch that cone.
Yeah.
Nobody went off.
That's the line to be on too. I've told a bunch of people you can be midline on the bank, set you up to come out wide here.
Wide here.
Load up a hard transition back out.
And they've been going so deep. Like so many people are going so deep into this corner versus before where they're always hugging the tires. Even Joe, right? He got so much. He's got so much better.
He's got a lot better.
So much better. It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Brandon's been really excited to watch all day. Brandon's one of my favorite drivers. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
The car has nothing, and it's so slow. And he's just like Lucas with the 8.6. Low power car, and they're just hucking the hell out of it.
Just like 10/10, foot through the floor, ripping.
It's so sick.
Dude, that's sick though. So I think at the end of this, I have like a winner's circle thing. I don't know how we want to do that.
I'm just going to announce it in the group chat and have him come here and we'll give him his award.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. We don't have much merch left, by the way.
Yeah.
Most of it is gone.
Yeah, hopefully they have a size for him still.
Yeah. He's pretty tall, so I don't know if we have like some larger.
Worst case scenario, we have to do another order anyways. We'll just set one aside for him.
Yep.
Like, he drives all of our events. He'll be back. So.
Yeah, big supporter. He's been out here helping. That's actually been really cool.
Work days.
Talk about like.
I was judging from the stand that he helped build.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're not doing driver of the day today because we got other things going on. But at the same time, talk about driver of the day right there. You guys literally did the thing that we were looking for. They won that, and to know that like they're out here, they came out here for our work weeks. They're helping us build stuff. Like Tyler just said, they built a media stand down there. And Travis was literally standing on top.
It's another thing he's done above and beyond.
And he's been helping out people in the chat and stuff like that.
And he's in our driver chat. He's like, if anybody needs help with our line, I'll tandem with you. Come follow me.
I love it. Dude, it's like, follow me. I'll put on a clinic type of thing. I'm going to do whatever I do. You just watch.
Yeah,
and you'll learn something.
He drove with a bunch of people today.
Big shout out to honestly to Travis on that.
Big congratulations to Travis. That was exhilarating.
You know, to be that supportive and that helpful, and then to come out here and put on a show like this. It's so cool. They were out in Lapeer 2 weeks ago. Learning to party.
One of them just started driving this year.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
19 years old. No, Tyler.
Tyler?
Tyler was 19.
Yeah. Insane. It's insane to see two young bucks out here like that.
Yeah.
Just ripping it.
Having a blast.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Woo. Oh, he had greasy tires. That was pretty freaking good. Did he get on? I want to see if he got that good.
He caught it.
Looked really good here.
That was nuts.
I saw the sparks from his tires, so I thought it kind of like, oh, I'm losing it.
We do it on purpose.
Talk about like somebody who can like drive kind of like whatever condition it ends up being in. Like, sure, yep, sounds good.
Yeah.
And it looks like he caught it and he just pulled off track. Nice. Wow. What a vibe. We got another half hour of shreds.
Yeah.
I almost kind of want to let it just be like, just watch. Hey, I want to turn this camera just a little bit to the left, and it would be golden because it gets people here, and it would get people all the way through to the entry. Like they just barely. Yeah, the camera on right now. If it was to the left a little tiny bit, so that we can get the full entry, it would be perfect. Because then we can just let this go.
Yeah.
And like, I think just like this is.
Always scheduled to be done at 10?
10:30.
10:30. I mean,
Yeah.
Live stream.
It's kind of like I can wrap it up right now. I just kind of want to go like enjoy this for a moment because it is.
We'll have the live stream run. And
Yeah.
we'll run it to
Because
the
it's a
end.
good angle. It's cool to watch. I have a little
Andreas
bit of,
is adjusting it right now.
I have a little bit of something to say, and then I'll go walk around. I'm gonna go throw a battery in my car and see if it happens to work. Because if it does, I'm gonna drop it. It takes me 2 seconds to put a battery in.
Why not?
That's why I didn't do it last week, because I'm like, I need a battery.
Is that better?
I think he should. I don't know, is it better to be wider or zoom in a little bit?
Zoom a tiny bit.
Zoom in a little bit?
That's fine. It's good.
Zoom in it'll look better.
It's fine.
It's Eric.
It's pretty good, yeah. Cool. I'll let you say your thing. I'll hop off.
Yep.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
relax.
So I'm gonna do a quick little like little picture-in-picture, good video, sweet. All right, so Tyler is gonna head back down there. I'm gonna try and relax a little bit here by the end of the day. Thanks, man. I'm so glad that that was sick. So glad that we come away with a conclusive winner because that had to be hard to judge. Oh, we got Travis right here. Travis, come here. Did you get the bike off? All right.
I just told him right now.
Dude, no? Come here, bro.
yeah.
Actually, no. Good job, man. Dude,
Thanks, bro.
that was a show.
Dude, that was fucking
sick.
crazy.
You're filling that every time.
Second gear wide open from entry on the bank all the way to the first corner.
Yes. So, all right, guys. So we got Travis here, the man, the myth, the legend. As he just found out, as Tyler was walking away, Travis is walking up. Why were you walking over here, Travis?
We just came to try and get my girlfriend a t-shirt, but t-shirts are closed and she had to go to the bathroom anyway. And I was like, oh, I'll just come wander over here for a little bit. I saw you guys hanging out. I was like, I'll say hi.
Good news is you got your girlfriend a t-shirt.
Fuck
At a
yeah.
minimum, already that's done. You know, because like how cool is that?
Dude, dude, it's been such a riot. It's crazy.
Was that not how fun?
Dude, that was the absolute most fun I have ever had in a car.
Everybody was killing it.
Dude, everybody. Everybody.
Every person out there was doing it.
And they weren't like driving soft either. Everybody was going
Everybody's
for it.
pushing.
Everybody's pushing as hard as they possibly can. Yeah, they're gonna spin out, but that's because they're finding
They're on the edge.
they're finding the limit of the car.
Yep.
It's been
And it was like
crazy.
minimal like even spin outs or
Yeah.
anything, like even being so close to the edge, there was only a couple people that fell off.
Yeah.
And it was only one. Oh, I went a little bit too far this way.
Right.
All right, that's not
Yeah,
fun.
like going into turn one of the laps with Damien behind me in the red Corvette, I flicked it in, stabbed the brake, and the whole front end of the car lifted, and something bound up and felt weird, and I thought I broke it, and it straightened out, and everything felt good, so I just went and did another lap. I had to bail out of that one early, but you know what? Whatever.
It's better to do more than it is to call it like, oh, I messed up and something else happened. Like, you always do more laps.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, absolutely.
So, and
Fortunately, the car didn't break. Like, it held up good. The FDF kit on it that I've had on it for like 3 years has been mint.
Nice.
I'm
nice to hear that works. Is keep working because
Dude,
it needs to keep. It's good
yeah.
that it keeps working.
this year has been a great year for me in that car. I haven't hardly put any like hard work into it. I've just been able to go out and turn laps and burn rubber, and it's been an absolute riot.
MMDCs, baby.
Dude, the last
Right, we got angle, arms, suspension, motive diff,
hydro
bucket seat, hydro.
I don't even have a bucket seat in it. It's stock seat.
No way.
Dude, it fits so good. I can't not.
Nice.
It's been awesome.
It's not a leather though, it's a cloth.
Yeah, it's a cloth seat. Yeah.
Because I know the leather ones are really slippery.
Yeah. I wouldn't dare run a leather seat. That would just not be a good time.
Dude, I'm curious how big of a difference you feel with the bucket seat.
I tried one. It was set up a little weird. I wasn't the most comfortable, and the back of it, because I'm so tall, was really short, and the plastic pass-throughs for the harness were like in the middle of my shoulder blade. So I got to get a really tall seat.
Like I have a HTER that's pretty high.
Yep.
You know, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'll probably have to get one that's got like a partial halo or something like that. That's going to be tall enough.
That makes sense.
That's a problem for.
Dude, and then you'll be locked in.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude. It's been an absolute riot.
And you got oil cooler, power steering cooler.
Yep. It's a 30-row oil AN10 oil cooler. I have an 8-inch fan on it that's wired to a switch. So if I start seeing oil, I'm running a factory oil pressure gauge, but once it starts to dip below 30, I'll kick on the switch and it goes back up. It's perfectly fine.
That is one thing that's really nice about the MMDCs.
Yep. Yeah.
It's oil pressure. That's the most important thing.
It's a dual pass aluminum radiator, so it's a little bit oversized.
You're staying cool out there, right?
Yeah, it's been cool. Right up until I just pulled off, the temp was just starting to creep. I have recently upgraded to two 14-inch fans that are both 2400 CFM, whereas I had 12-inch fans that were 1700 before, and the last event I could do like 3 laps and it would get hot.
Oh wow, so that big of a difference.
It made
just fans.
Huge, yes, off
good
just
quality
fans.
Make a bit, like you don't want Mishimoto fans.
No.
Morimako, you know, bullshit fans.
And the thing is, these are
good fans.
These are cheap fans off eBay, but they're a high CFM and they're a good blade design, and that's what's important.
Blade design, yep.
But yeah, no, the car's been running absolutely great today.
Simple seat time car, essentially.
Yeah,
as far as drift cars are concerned.
Yeah,
like it's not like you have a motor swap. It's not like you have a full cage. It's not like you have, you know, a bunch of shit gutted out of it or anything like that. It's a car.
It's simple bolt-ons as far as the engine goes. You know, the basic plenum spacer. It's got some ported stuff. It's got some shorty headers. It's a full 3-inch DE. It's got 3-inch exhaust.
So BQ35 DE is like the low power variant.
Yeah,
the 03, 04 variant of the 3.5 liter V6 and the 350Z.
And it was only available 03, 04, and then they went to the HR or the rev up and then the HR level.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah,
which we're talking the difference between 260 horsepower or something like that out of the DE and like 320 out of the HR.
Yeah, it's a big jump. Somewhere around 300, 310 at the crank, if I had to guess. I haven't had it on a dyno. I was planning to do E85 before this event and then get it dynoed. I just didn't get the chine to.
It'll run really cool once you put E85 on it.
That's my hope, yeah. So that's a problem for later, but yeah.
So
for now,
come out here with essentially a stock car with a suspension, which is like
basically
suspension and cooling mods.
Yep.
And to be able to put on an absolute riot of a show like that, and to be able to progress and do lap after lap after lap, weekend after weekend, like
it's basically put tires on the thing, change the fluids, and go drive. It's great
and just have fun.
Yeah.
And like so, going back to this jam, like again, everyone's ripping it. Sparky was running grid, insanity.
Yeah.
Like it was a machine gun of cars.
Yeah. We're like 30 feet between the cars at the start, and it's just go, and then if the guy in front of you spins, check up and try not to spin out too, but you know, if it happens, it happens. Yeah.
You're gonna get 20 more in the next 10 minutes.
I
was surprised at how many people were actually still going continuously like that, because like my car gets hot after like 2 laps of that.
I was surprised the car has been keeping as cool as it has been. The fans made a bigger difference than I expected.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed. I'm happy. It's been a great weekend so far.
That was sweet. This was, very good job out there. That was awesome. Like, what an unusual thing to happen for you to happen to be walking up at the same exact time.
I know, that's crazy.
Like, I just
the
found out
timing
Tyler.
of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's you, and then Benji was runner-up. He was hucking it, killing it.
Yeah.
It was just like, there was one that he did, but if he would have landed it just right, it would have been like cash money. And that would have probably been like the difference, right?
Right.
But it was like, it was that close.
Yeah.
So it was like,
It was that close. Yeah.
and then Lucas in the A86, the red one.
He's been chucking that
the
thing
shit out of it.
all day, dude. All day. I'm impressed. For that
Right?
little car, I'm impressed.
It's not very happy doing it.
I'm sure.
So it's like really cool to see him like, I mean, there he goes.
Yeah, there you go.
So here's Lucas coming up in the red A86. That thing is like,
I mean, for
what it's,
does he have an like a swap motor in it, or you don't know?
I think it's like a good 4HE or a beast. I don't know. It's like nothing crazy beyond that.
Yeah, but it's just a good like stock 4-cylinder basically in a really lightweight chassis.
Yep. It's a little twitchy. Like I don't know what kind of suspension setup he has on it really. I think there's room to make it better, but like it's fun. It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
And to take a fun car like that and be able to huck it too and still have as much fun and do that consistently over and over again, that's hard.
Yeah. The something that's so underrated that people don't understand is suspension setup is so important with whatever car you drive.
World of difference. I was
It
talking
makes
with
so
Shane
big.
Whalley earlier. It's like you really need to have good the suspension setup right.
Yeah.
Else it ruins the whole car if you can't.
You can drive on okay tires if you have good suspension.
Yep.
But if you have bad suspension, it doesn't matter what tires you're on. The car's going to drive like crap. It's either going to grip up too often, or it's going to over-rotate, or it's just going to feel weird or twitchy or whatever.
It's not going to do what you want it to do.
Right.
And there's nothing you can say about it.
Right.
Like it is what it is because it ain't going to listen.
Yeah.
But if you have good suspension setup, it's going to do exactly what you tell it.
Yeah.
Especially a car like a 350Z where it's just like, it's like what it's designed to do.
Right. Like they're not necessarily like the best. The rear suspension geometry is kind of a little goofy, but a good alignment at the very least goes a long way. And then also coilover settings too.
Yep.
Big difference.
Get your dampers dialed, get your spring rates set so that they're good and stuff like that. Makes a big difference.
Yeah,
Like
big
it changes
difference.
the whole balance of the car.
Yeah, for sure. I just last night actually, I made some front end alignment adjustments and then also softened up the dampening in the rear coilovers. And the amount of difference between last event and this event is night and day.
Like, oh wow, this thing drives way better.
Yeah. Like
It doesn't skip the back end, isn't it skipping quite as much? It's just reacting.
Yeah, basically. And I changed the Ackerman in the front a little bit and then towed it out. So it's a half-inch tow out versus quarter, which I had it set up before. And it's gnarly. It's really aggressive. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a lot of tow out. Normally it's an 1/8 inch of tow out.
Yeah.
Like the general baseline.
Usually I drive the car with like a 1/4 inch or so. The first event this year, I drove with an 1.5 inch tow out, and it also drove amazing. So it really depends on
I don't know
like,
if I trust your judgment anymore.
I mean, it really depends on how you drive the car though.
Yeah.
Especially with as limited as I am with that angle kit, because it's not like a full pro kit or whatever, because it's just a FDF mild kit. Having that extra toe lets the lead wheel kick back a little bit more. So the lead wheel gets just a little bit more angle and then I can throw it harder.
Gotcha.
And it works out just fine. So I'm not complaining. But
yeah, man, that's awesome. It's been really cool, like seeing the way you progressed and stuff like that over time.
Yeah.
Obviously, like again, I'll say like it was really cool tonight, like seeing this show and seeing all this come together. Like,
dude,
this was when I like I mentioned it earlier on here, but like with the Matsuri thing, like this is Vichy short at the end of Matsuri, like where it is just a jam.
Yeah, it's everybody out all at once, going hard, having fun with their homies, spinning laps, burning rubber, having a ride every time.
Yep. Nobody's getting in the way. Everyone knows that everyone around them is like, yep, we're good. We can commit.
It's been great. It's been an absolute ride. And then we're not even to the part where the track is cold and we're all going to hang out and just have fun, play games.
Yeah, 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now, we're going to go cold track. We're going to group up over here. We got music. We got games. Like,
there's still plenty of time to go have fun and do some hang out with your homies and just have an absolute riot of a night.
And especially like after that level of intensity,
Yeah.
for that long,
Yeah, I
Like-
need a break.
yeah, heart rate,
Yeah.
arms, everything, brain,
Yeah.
everything just been like running at 1,000.
Dude, it's been crazy. My girlfriend is about to go to medical school out in Missouri, and just earlier today I came off track and it was another one of those times where it was heater after heater after heater, and she was sitting there checking my heart rate, being like, all right, you're safe, it's good.
Because it goes up, like it goes up. Dude,
A lot.
How many versus like walking around to driving? Do you know how much of a heart rate jump it is?
And probably 100 beats per minute, easy.
Driving, you're sitting at 100 BPM.
Yeah, if not more. I
That's
mean,
like, what is it, like one? I don't know what I don't know what my heart rate range is or whatever,
Yeah.
but like that's like you're getting a workout, right?
Yeah, basically,
That's like a
like
good cardio or something
I'm
like that.
sweating head to toe right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I've got shorts and a t-shirt on, and like I have a fan in the back of the car that draws air through, and that helps keep the inside of it way cooler. But still, it's hot.
And it's tiring. Like you're
Yeah,
like,
and
especially here,
it's a whole
you're constantly
workout.
moving the car around the whole time.
And
You're always doing something.
and let me tell you, my car does not necessarily steer itself either. I've got to work for every bit of angle and every flick, and it's really fun to see it all come together.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that.
I'm really glad to hear. Like, I mean, you're the first drivers in wrestling that I've gotten of this, and like, we haven't done this before, you know?
Yeah.
It's so cool seeing. Like, I saw Damien like putting his arm out the window and stuff.
Dude, yeah, I've been
You
running
guys were shredding
great
so hard
laps with
together.
Damien all day. We've had a couple little like issues and spin outs and stuff. We've managed to avoid hitting each other. I'm happy. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, you make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Even pro FD drivers make mistakes.
Yeah,
But if you can, you know, end the day with an intact car that you can go drive tomorrow,
It's been a wonderful.
it's been a
day.
great day. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad you had a good time. All right, I'm so glad you had a good time. We've got a little prize package.
Yeah.
Most of it was like a reason to go and just do this. Like that
Yeah.
was really fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like we got a little prize package. I think it's like a sticker pack and
Yep.
then a shirt.
Yeah, it was a sticker back T-shirt and yeah.
And then whatever else we got random, you know,
Yeah,
random
yeah.
stuff we have. So and if I don't know what's up. We don't have much. We were like, we're definitely gonna do this, but we don't know what we'll have left at the end. So we'll figure that out. So either way, we'll come either back and be like, hey, this is what we got. We'll do reprints, whatever. We'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
like, you get a little prize package, nothing crazy. And then we're gonna gather up over here. I got some ice cream, or popsicles and stuff for everybody. We got hot dogs, like bratwurst, all sorts of random stuff that we'll have. We'll be grilling it up over here and having a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're having a great time today. It's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need more fun, we almost have tomorrow also.
I know. I still have tomorrow, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with tire because I roasted the last pair of Tandems. So I've got a pair of tires that are like 50% burnt. I'm just going to have to run it.
I've got a pair of 235s, but I think you run 265s.
245.
245s?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a pair of 235s that are sitting on wheels that, like, if you need a pair, like, there's something I was going to try
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
but we can it's an option.
We'll figure that out tomorrow once
Yeah.
I get through those. They're like probably 50% tread. It
Yeah.
should be able to get me through. They're like 500 tread wear, so it's
Okay.
yeah. I'm not
They
too
can last
worried
half a
about
day.
it.
They can last all day if you're chilling.
Yeah, because we're running what 10 to like 6 tomorrow or
10 to
something.
7,
Yeah.
But we'll wrap it up here, and then we'll keep talking more there.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, good job, fucking man.
Thank you,
Very
man.
proud of you.
Appreciate
That
it.
was really, really good.
Thank you.
Can I shut it off right now? 1 sec? All right. Everybody, I hope you had a great time. I know I certainly did. Obviously, the drivers really did, which is like, that's kind of what's most important. That literally is what's most important. We want the drivers to have the best time. I think everybody here watching this had a blast. I'm pumped right now. So thank you guys for watching at home. It's so cool. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I really want to give another. I'm gonna do this like I do every time. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna give a big shout out to the media crew over here. We got Andreas. These are the guys. that are responsible for making this whole thing happen here and making sure that it goes smoothly. So, Andreas,
What's going on?
Tom,
Yeah, hey.
Ben, new addition, and Josh, killing it out there. And don't forget, we got Michelle over here. Every person here is the reason why this is happening the way it is. Went great. I know Andreas is stoked on how today went. Everybody is stoked. I'm stoked. So, thank you guys. And until next time, see you next month. Bye.